Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live finals of the Boost Championship made possible by Sky and Guild. We're here to cover some of the best teams that Europe has to offer. The Final Four competing for spot number 1. I'm Jeannie, joined by Gleeny. Welcome. Lovely to have you in your own seat.
I got my own chair.
Is it comfy?
Oh, very comfortable.
Yeah, you think the teams today are going to be feeling comfy as well?
No, far from. I think the teams are going to be very anxious, ready for the final.
Oh yeah, the finals indeed. So a little bit of an update in terms of how we got here, starting off with what we can be expecting today. So as we said, we're going to be starting off with the first game that will be place number 1 up against 4th, and that is Catjam, previously resolved, up against Amateur. And then the second game will be Endpoint against RNL Roar, because Endpoint was 2nd and RNL Roar finished 3rd. So they're going to be competing. Whoever wins is going to be going straight towards that grand final. And unfortunately, because there is no lower bracket, you snooze, you lose, and you'll be going up into the semis to decide who is 3rd and who is 4th. Now, how did we get here exactly? What did the leaderboard look like coming up into this? How did we finish off round 7? Well, let me tell you, we finished off round 7 by Catjam placing first because they went 6-1. The same as Endpoint, but at the end of the day, the more convincing your win were, the better you placed.
Yep, 100% Catjam have been dominating this tournament, and I'm excited to see what happens against Emisha. Our first game, I'm really excited.
I'm pretty sure Jazzy is also really excited to see what happens with the Amateur going up against Catjam, but I'm sure she'll get into that later. We have 3rd place RNL Roar and Team Amateur on the 4th. Again, identical scores in terms of wins and losses, but the amount of games that you win, whether it's a 3-0 or whether it's a 3-2, it does kind of take into consideration when it comes into placement. Guild Academy, Simplicity WCB, Hasta La Vista, as well as NA's Last Hope are not with us, but that doesn't mean that they walk away empty-handed, because they also get a chance of the prize pool. At the end of the day, a reminder, it's a total of £5,000, and the teams that place on the bottom 4, they still get a chunk of it.
Yeah, they still get a hefty chunk of it, so we'll see how that pans out.
Absolutely. Now, going into today, as we mentioned, the first game is going to be Amateur up against Catjam. I want to start off with Catjam because this is a team that coming into this, we said, yes, it is a first place, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. It's definitely going to be in the live finals. Previously resolved, for those of you who are new here, and they have had such a great running up to the live finals, but started off a little bit slower.
Yeah, they started off really slow. That we had that unexpected result against RNL Roar, Catjam, but they've really held it together throughout the rest of the tournament, and they do have a history of kind of falling apart a little bit in finals, but we'll see. Ooh. We'll see how it goes. They're my favorite team, so I think that they'll do very well.
Okay, love that. I do want to kind of head into the RNL Roar matchup that they had, because it was the only loss that they have suffered. And it was still, though, a very close game. It was 3-2 for RNL Roar, and that could have potentially been the closest game that we've seen so far at the Boost Championship.
Yeah, it was. It was intense, wasn't it? No one expected that result. And, I think Catjam went back, reviewed, and then they came back stronger after that.
Yeah, they said, we are not playing with us. Okay, that's the only loss we're going to suffer. And then they went up against Emmenger. Emmenger themselves, a team that has performed very, very well over the last couple of weeks. They've shown us what they're capable of. They've caused some upsets, because the biggest game really that stands out from the history of Emmenger was the game that they went up against Guild Academy, because we expected to be seeing Guild Academy in the live finals. We expected them to be a top 4 team, but then thanks to Emmenger going 3-1, that's not the case.
No, it's not been the case at all. I think Emmenger has really surprised everyone in this competition. And, I mean, yesterday we had Emmenger versus Catjam, and even though, unfortunately, Emmenger lost, those games were so close. They were intense. We went into overtime. I think they're really, really gunning in this competition, and I think they're one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Catjam, though, that's the game that's showing up as well. 0-3 for Emmenger. Catjam, the ones to be taking it away, but that is a game that went overtime in every single round. Emmenger did not make it easy for Catjam to be able to close it out. So if they are back in that form, or maybe just even a little bit better, is there a chance of them closing this one out instead of Catjam?
Well, my heart says no, but I mean, Jazzy's giving me the dagger glare.
She's like
so
giving you the side eye all the way across the room.
right? So I think Emmenger, they have a chance. It depends if they really are on their best game.
Yeah,
because those games were so close. I think they could do it.
Do you think this game is going to be closer? Because yes, it was overtime. It was still a 3-0. Really, Catjam completely running away with it. Emmenger not fully getting that opportunity to take a round off. Are we expecting a 3-0 with overtime? Are we expecting a 3-2? What are we feeling like?
I think it's going to be a 3-2, not a 3-0.
Okay.
It's the final. You got to come and represent.
All right. I really like that prediction. I think as well, looking at how this has played out, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it being a 3-2. Again, a 3-0 also wouldn't surprise me, because you say it yourself, right? It's the finals. You want to give it your all. And as much as we've seen Catjam really take away some of these games, it's going to be a question of who's going to be showing up more. So we're not going to be the one answering that question for you, because instead we have our lovely casters ready for you. So let's head over to them and see what they think.
I am Jazzy. I'm here with Gregan. Gregan, you saw how Catjam versus Emmenger went. You saw that on Thursday. We all saw that. Yes, Emmenger lost out, but what do you think is going to happen this time?
I think everyone's underestimating Emmenger a little bit. I'm with you in that sense, but I do think Catjam are the favourite. I think when we look at the season for WCBC, both of them in that top 2 position, sometimes Emmenger dropping down a little bit, but I think they've always got that potential to win a tournament, and that's what this tournament's all about, is seeing that step up in the final moment of the season.
Exactly. So I believe it's going to be redemption. We're not going to repeat this. I think it's going to be a 3-1 maybe to Emmenger. I don't think.
Yeah, no one said 3-1 over there, did they? It was 3-2
no
or
one said
3-0.
It was 3-2. I don't think it's going to be that close, honestly. Emmenger is going to bring their A game. I feel it.
I mean, this is potentially what could have been the final, but then Emmenger not winning those 6-1 games like Endpoint and Catjam, so that means they're the lower seed. They had to come in and have to face the higher seed Catjam in the semi-final, which might stop them from making all the way to that grand final, or we might see that upset, and Catjam not making a final would be huge for the women's scene.
Exactly. This will be very interesting. Will the bottom for this playoff, will they win the whole tournament, or will Catjam just show that, yeah, we are dominant, we were first, and we'll stay first?
Yeah, I think we're excited for whenever these teams come together, because there's still so much progress within this scene. Everyone's improving so fast. So when you see the tournaments like the Swiss, that was about consistency. How can you do across the day? But then when you're in that playoff final, it's very different, because all you got to do is step up for that one game. There's a whole load more pressure on these teams going into a semi-final. Best of 5. The team to win 3 games will go through to that final. We'll find out right now. Is it going to be a quick one, a 3-0, or will we be going all the way to game 5?
Yes. So let's see as we start kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams, the talent in the women's scene is improving so much recently. It's something I've been following for a little while now, the women's Carball League. I think one thing you always notice is these 3 players on Catjam tend to be at the top, there or thereabouts. You know, we saw it in the Commonwealth as well last year, some fineness in that team. And I think when you look at the players on the pitch, Dux stands out as a superstar within the scene, one of the best and has been for a long time.
Yeah, Dux is definitely one of the most mechanical within the women's scene. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. But as we've seen, Emmenger have been bringing their game since the start of this tournament.
So we see a kickoff going in favour of Catjam straight away. Dux showing off those mechanics off the start. Defended well by Emmenger. But this is the kind of thing you got to watch out for, that instant solo play from Dux, always threatening. And just a little bit of a feel-out phase at the start.
With that being said, Drea is all over the place. Drea with the defense. How is Drea going to match up against Dux?
Yeah, Dre on their own at the defense there, just having to guide that one away, keep the pressure off, let the teammates rotate back, and we see a pretty even start so far. Both teams having a chance to try things out. A bit of an overcommit here from KatJam.
But as we see, Drea is just always there ready to clean up right from the back.
You seem like a bit of a fan of Emma.
Just a little bit.
we heard it before. You've definitely been backing them the whole time, and I think you'll be sitting there confident, knowing that they can win this.
Yeah.
But then that's always the case with these playoff games. Any team could win it, and at this stage, it's sort of working out what your opponents are doing, because the pressure changes the way you play in these big games. And so maybe we'll see a more passive approach from one team. Maybe we'll see a team overcommitting a bit more. And I think so far the biggest difference I've seen is KatJam maybe being a bit too overconfident and overcommitting a little bit too much sometimes.
I have seen all players have push up, but KatJam are good at what they do. They are the best for a reason.
Good start there, save from Crimson. Keeping it off the goal line, that's going to be cleared away, but the pressure still for Emma. They're trying to keep it in, and that's going to be a bit of a loss of control on the sidewall redirect.
Just left back there for Emma to clear up and send right back down to KatJam's board.
So with the Swiss stage, we sort of 6-1 for KatJam, so a solid performance from them, getting that number 1 seed. What went wrong for Emma? Because they could have been that number 2 seed had they won a few games here and there.
Yeah, I reckon it's just confidence. They're not really looked at as, and there's a goal from Drea right there.
Speaking of confidence.
Speaking of confidence, Drea's just said, oh no, I'm very confident.
What a read as well, getting up so quick. Dux trying to go for the in and out save, not quite getting there in time, but it was so confidently struck down with speed. And just MJ just coming in with a strong 50-50 to set that up. Good start here for Emma.
Great start. That's 1-0 to Emma with 3 minutes left. Still so much to play for, and the quickest response that we could ask for from KatJam.
Straight off the kickoff. Similar kickoff to earlier, where it went slightly towards the back right there, and Stiving just going up and sending that one towards the net. They've been in my chat for years, and I've known them for so long and seen their journey coming up through, and they've become one of the strongest players in the scene. But they're crafty. The way they play, just so crafty, and they come out with these little plays just like that.
Yeah, they've definitely been a player to look out for in this competition. They have literally been all over the place, up there with Dux, keeping the team afloat.
Yeah, so those little sneaky decisions, going for the 50s and fakes and sometimes bumps as well. I know they like to fake it and go through for a bump every now and again.
Seen a lot of tactical bumps, a lot of tactical demos throughout this tournament we've seen.
100%. So yeah, KatJam previously, Resolve, anyone who's unaware of the team they haven't seen before, Resolve did so well this whole season, number 1 seed in Europe. Emma actually came second across the full season in the rankings. But when it comes to this stage, it's those big game plays like Steven just coming in there, dunking that ball into the net, getting below that touch, sending it straight away, reading the double tap. What an angle.
What a brilliant shot. MJ just tried to clear it out, but only as far as Steven, and sent it right into the top of the goal. That's 2-1 to KatJam. Still anybody's game.
That's confidence speaking right there in your team. I'm sure going to be leaving, but there is always a close game between these two. But if it just goes in favour of KatJam across the series like before, it could be a quick one.
But at the moment, the ball is still on Emma side, but all KatJam players have pushed up.
I think that's their biggest weakness, isn't it?
Yeah, that's their biggest weakness that I've noticed. They tend to push up when they have the lead, and then they allow these goals to just fly by them.
Oh, lovely little fake there. Drea coming in and sends it home. You've got to see those lovely faking plays in the middle. MJ sending it towards the backboard. And then you just see looking like they're going to go for it, and that fake ducks out completely in the slot behind. Drea takes it.
What a beautiful team play. Equalising. 1 minute 52 remaining. This is a very close first game.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be like that across the board. It's just whether those overtimes or those 1 goal differences come through. And the last few times we've seen a goal, it's been quickly answered.
Yeah.
So you've always got to be careful off that kickoff. The only set play in Rocket League, so there is always a chance that the team who's favoured in that area can sneak a goal back straight away.
And here the ball cleared out to Emma side, but Drea once again just there to defend.
Yeah, Emma looking really good. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Good pressure from both sides, isn't it?
Yeah, both teams are playing fantastic right now. They're both playing out their minds. Neither team wants to lose. they both don't want to let the first game go to the other team.
Yeah, it was a 3-0 in the Swiss stage in favour of Catjam, but it was close still.
Yeah.
And in the Swiss, it's a very different style of tournament. You're really focusing just consistency across the board, and Catjam 3-0'd most of their games, so they are very consistent at doing so. But then it doesn't mean anything if you can't win it in those big-time plays, and Rini said that earlier on about the potential for those mess-ups from Catjam in the big games. But will it happen here in the semi-final? Dreyer taking it over, Steven in the air, and Crimson in control of the back, loves to dribble it, takes it into the 50. Ducks coming in for another challenge. Plenty of boost still left for Crimson, does just give it away, and there's a chance now for Dreyer to start the counter-attack. Just a bit of a mistouch there, Ducks going to clear that away.
Bounce back to Azara. Lovely little name change there. But only as far as Dreyer. No matter where each team tried to clear it, there's always someone on the opposite team just there. The positioning of both teams has been fantastic.
Yeah, just there. Steven squeezing that in. 9 seconds left. With a bit of a loose touch in defense. You see that block from Crimson, set that ball up, rolled straight down. And it couldn't have been more perfect from Steven, just finding that top corner shot. And that's going to be that clutch goal that they need that differentiates them from the other teams in this tournament.
Yes, 9 seconds remaining. Could we get an early kick-off goal? Could
Fake
we get
kick-off.
overtime?
Oh, 2 in the air. Can they get it?
Oh, as you see, Steven, always there, ready for the 50-50.
I
Almost
love
scored.
that. I love that from Emishore, though. Trying a fake kickoff in that final moment. Trying something different, unexpected. Almost worked out, but it was read by the Catjam defense.
Yes, and that game almost ended 4-2. You see, the last second they almost got their final goal in. But 1-0 to Catjam right now. How do you think Emishore's feeling?
They played well. Like, if you look at the gameplay, they're both playing very well. It is just coming down to those final touches, those little mistakes here and there, and the quality of the finishing of Catjam coming through. I think both teams had pretty even pressure both ways, and it's really going to be that clinical touch, the final piece that's going to differentiate the two teams, I think.
If it's anything like how Thursday is going to be, we're in for a treat. We're in for some serious Rocket League, and I can't wait for this next game.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this could have been the final. You know, if it had gone differently for Emishore in the Swiss and they got a higher seeding, I mean, Endpoint came through and did incredibly well, getting 6-1. A team that hovers around 4th, 3rd, sometimes getting towards finals, sometimes dropping out the top 4. A little bit inconsistent, but they made it on this occasion into that number 2 seed. So they're going to be able to have what is considered a slightly easier route, where Catjam have to go through Emishore here in the semi-final.
Yeah, it's a very interesting first game to have. It's very interesting, but like I said, I can't wait for the second game. Can you wait for the second game?
I mean, we won't have much longer. Normally
We
about
won't
a
have
minute
much
between
longer.
games here.
Yeah, we
here
won't
in
have
Rocket
much
League.
longer. It's like
It's so fast-paced, though, Rocket League, isn't it? I mean, Rocket League is one of those games where you can almost blink and the game's over.
yeah.
But I feel like with the best of 5, there's so much pressure in each game for a Rocket League player that these high-quality games, like semi-finals, finals, one game can mean so much. So perhaps that first game could knock everything out of Emishore. They'll feel the strain of losing one of those games.
Yeah, but you never know. You never know with how each team is feeling. This loss could be the fire that just makes Emishore just reverse. They might just get 3 wins in a row, or they could just completely die out.
Yeah,
you never know.
you're speaking from a place
never
of
know.
hope right there.
I'm
I
speaking
can tell.
from hope.
Having been in the coolest players when they drop a game early on, most of the time players will get knocked down a bit from that. But you never know. Perhaps this is Emishore's strength. Perhaps this is a chance for them to show their resilience and come through and step up in the next game. But I think the more likely way that Emishore take the next game would be if Catjam overestimate their ability and start to think they can get away with stuff, and then that's where they'd overcommit. So,
And we've seen them do that before. They got their 3-2 loss from RNL earlier. So it could be a repeat, just with a different team.
yeah, so we need to see if Catjam can maintain their composure and be a consistent team. Ducks just having to make a dive across save there.
Yeah, just managed to clip it enough that it will go to the right corner.
Oh, this is a great chance. Catjam being blocked at the source. Steven not able to get the shot closed down well.
Already, Catjam have started this match a lot more aggressive than the other.
Yeah, and that's a great little fadeaway pass. But again, the overcommit we spoke about, 2 players behind the ball here. Can they center it quickly? A really tough opportunity. The ball just speeding away from them, but that's that overcommit we spoke about. Watch out for Catjam. 3-person plays are risky when it comes to Rocket League. If you mess them up or they get blocked at any point, that's where you're open to the counter-attack. And you see now Ducks has been a little bit safer in the positioning, just waiting for the play to play out and then cleaning up afterwards. And that's going to be it right there. Ducks coming in, cleaning up. First goal to Catjam.
Amazing goal for the top of the goal. First goal in 1 minute into the game.
Yeah, you see the difference there. It was much smarter play from Ducks.
Yeah, a lot smarter. Catjam is definitely playing as a better cohesive unit. It's very refreshing, but how can Emershore go against that?
Yeah, I mean, the counter-attacks aren't reliable. You can't win a game by just counter-attacking. Eventually, something will sneak through, but this could be another chance. The intercept here, shot opportunity, small window.
Oh, and unfortunately, is that Drea just missed the ball, and the third player was back.
Yeah,
that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get a very big window against Catjam. They track back so fast.
Exactly.
You have to be quick on it, and unfortunately, these last few times for Emershore have not been easy enough opportunities to sneak it in on the counter-attack. There's still plenty of time, only one goal the difference.
This is the beauty of Rocket League. Anything can happen.
Oh, I've seen it all now.
We've seen it all.
Yeah, you see 3 goals comebacks every now and again, but 1 goal seems like nothing in the grand scheme of Rocket League. See Ducks big clear there. Crimson upfield, going to go for the double tap. Will be taken away by 2 players on Emershore. Safety of the right corner. So this is the kind of game we're expecting, right? Very even, a lot of respect from both teams. The occasional opportunity for Catjam to overcommit, occasional opportunity to counter-attack for Emershore. Nothing going in Emershore's way currently, though.
This game hasn't been too flashy. And as I say that, another goal goes in. My ability to jinx this is fantastic.
That was very unlucky there. Drea just coming in the wrong side of the ball. Crimson getting over it. The hard dunk there. MJ not pushing up too far though. It's just unfortunate. You've got to trust in the teammates' 50-50 ability. And that ball's going to pop away. An unlucky goal there, but they can bring it back.
Very much can bring it back. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. All it takes is 2 seconds and a good hit to score.
We see the kickoff again working every time for Catjam. They put it to that back right corner and gain possession early on.
Their set pieces and their teamwork is a lot better than Emershore's. Definitely coming into today's tournament.
I mean, they've been together for a while now as a team, so they've worked on all those things. You know, they've got great support they had at Resolve. You know, lots of chances to work on things with their coach. I think Tadpole's been working with them. So there's lots of opportunities for them to gain that knowledge, try out new things. But ultimately, the 3 individuals just have that extra scary factor when they're on the ball, right?
Yes.
And so for Emershore, they're going to have to try and close that down early, which might lead to moments like that last goal.
Yeah. Any moment any member of Catjam gets the ball, it is a very scary situation to look at.
Oh.
And there's a little bump right into the goal.
Speaking of which, Stephen just popping that one up, sending it through, getting past that ball. Do you know what we call that in Rocket League?
Mean.
Cringe. That's called the cringe bump.
The cringe bump to get the defender right out.
Yeah, that's a nasty little play there, but very effective. Sometimes people call it the unsavable shot, because the only way you can save that is by riding into the person who's coming to get you. And so 3-0 now for Catjam. Like we said after the last game, when it's a close game like that and you lose it, you feel like that was your best chance to get a game. Yeah. It's now even tougher, but there is 1 goal there for Drea.
1 goal in. Drea sent it right from the wall. Was that on their side? Cleared it off to the wall. It looked like it got a slight touch by Crimson. Gave it a bit more power.
Crimson definitely assisted that.
Definitely assisted.
A little bit aggressive in the corner, giving away the opportunity.
A goal is a goal, and now it's 3-1. 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining.
Okay, interesting. We see the kickoff again going in favour of Catjam. Definitely a part of the game that they have been in control of so far. Now, just can they maintain their discipline? Can Catjam just hold out the rest of the series without trying to do too much crazy stuff? As I say, that Crimson going off the ceiling, trying something a little bit crazy.
We've just had 2 players in the air. They're trying fancy things now. I think they've gone past relaxing. They want to show. They want to give us a game. They want to give us something to remember.
Having fun. That's always the important thing. And we see Crimson taking it down the sideline. Does get intercepted by Drea. As you can see, the Emershore team don't want to overcommit, but that does mean that their offensive plays sometimes can just fizzle out quite quickly.
Yeah.
And they really need to try and push for it now. Only 30 seconds and a little bit left. They really need to push for a goal here. Anything could work. Just got to try and force something at this moment. Maybe try something a bit different, a bit riskier. It's not quite working out. There's a risky challenge from MJ. This could be an opportunity.
We might have to turn around and do some cringe plays of their own if they want to get any goals in, because all CatJam players in that moment were all sitting in the goal. Nothing was going to get past.
There's a chance here maybe, but 10 seconds left. They'll have to get 2 in the time. It's going to be even tougher as that ball goes to safety, kind of, as it's in the goal. I thought that was going
I
across.
thought that was going across. I thought that was done. I thought the game was over. But 2 seconds remaining, 1 goal in.
Yeah.
All it takes is a kickoff goal.
Nice little dunk inside the post, bounce towards the middle, hard to read. Offensive player coming in, a lot easier to read for them. And 2 seconds left, we'll see another kickoff goal attempt. Anything fun? They've tried a fake, but that ball's just going to stay down. Oh, it's up for a short moment here. 2 players in the air. That's going to mean it's probably going to hit the ground right here off the wall. And there we go. CatJam winning another 3-2 game.
Another 3-2 game. Both games have been incredibly close.
That last one, I would say, was it didn't feel as close.
It didn't feel as close until the end, until the very last second. But as they've shown on Thursday, the games are going to be close. They've showed that both teams, the skill level is not that far apart.
That one, they went up 3-0 CatJam.
They did.
And they started to have a little bit of fun with it, and that's where a few goals came back. So I think that early lead for CatJam would be devastating for Emeshur.
Yeah, no, definitely. But can they do the same next game? Are they going to be complacent how they were to let those last 2 goals in?
Yeah.
And then allow a reverse sweep to happen.
And that's often the case in Rocket League. Rocket League, in terms of skill, if a team is better than another team, majority of the time they will win it. But the biggest factor in these kinds of games is your mental fortitude in these kind of moments. Will you let the ball slip a bit? Will you start to try and have a bit too much fun? And then once you lose a game like that, then you're frustrated. And that's where the mental fortitude is so much more important in these high-pressure games. So CatJam needs to just reset and go in for another game as if it's the same as the first.
As the same as the first. Probably not the second. And definitely not the last 2 minutes of the second game.
No, not at all as we start game 3 here. Crimson early aggression. There's going to be a chance here to see if they can bait out a few mistakes. A nice little fake challenge from Dux does gain possession. And it's now kept for CatJam. Steven on the wall. Going to try and take it past. 2 in the corners, a bit risky here for Emeshur. And they might overcommit off the back of it. And you see here, Crimson just misses the shot. Not enough boost there. Reaching for the ball. And they get away with it. Emeshur still in the game. That's an overcommit. CatJam.
Overcommit by CatJam. 30 seconds in, MJ has scored the first goal.
That's exactly what we were speaking about. This is going to be the main way Emeshur scores. If they're able to dissolve pressure quickly, send it straight towards the net on this occasion, Emeshur were able to take control of the ball a lot quicker, where before the ball got away from them when they were trying to counter-attack. And so consequently, they did get the goal. Kick-off going in favour of Emeshur. Almost an opportunity to score straight away.
Could you imagine this first goal would affect CatJam negatively? Or will they go back to their tactics of the first game?
It varies from person to person. You know, when you just miss out on what should have been a goal and then it ends up being a goal against, a 2-goal miss, some might call it, that was either funny to them or very frustrating. I would assume because they're 2-0 up in the series, they'd have found it funny and they'd have been able to bounce back from it. But if they let in another one now, then that first goal could compound on top of it.
Hopefully they don't have their loss with RNL role playing in the back of their mind, because as they did go up 2 games to begin with and then got a reverse sweep. But as
and that one there.
A goal has just trickled in for CatJam. Maybe they're not stressed.
Yeah, some of these goals that Steven is scoring are, I don't want to say that they're not very pretty. Let's put it that way. They're very much like scrappy goals, good 50-50s, reading the play well, crafty little player. And consequently, it levels the score 1-1. And that's frustrating when you've put all that work in and then you give away a goal that quickly.
Yeah. I can imagine Emeshur probably scratching their heads right now thinking, what can we actually do?
See Dux on the sidewall there, centres it, might give away an opportunity. A good shot saved away. Crimson reads it. MJ trying for the solo play, but a grounded Dux on the sidewall, able to send that way on 0 boost. And we can see the boost in the top left, nothing for CatJam. They're very low right now. A chance for Emeshur to punish, but the clear comes through. Boost gathered. Chance for CatJam to recover.
Unfortunately, Emeshur was low, so they weren't able to capitalise as they probably could have been. That would have been a great chance for them to get a goal in hand. But
what a shot.
Just like that, sent the ball right behind the last defender.
Yeah, this could be the problem when you've had a lot of pressure for a while. You feel like you're still in control, and then suddenly 1 touch, 2 touch, ball's in your net, and now CatJam 2-1 in this game. A great clinical shot there from Stephen on the bounce, half volley, just below the crossbar.
Yeah, beautiful goal. Nice goal to get the lead. With 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Like I said, it's very close. Still anyone's game.
It's always anyone's
It's
game.
always
in Rocket
anyone's
League, isn't
game.
it? We saw last time
until it
3-0 up.
gets to 7-2.
7-2, yeah. A bad hand in poker, but great score in Rocket League.
A nice little clearance from Azara straight to MJ. Oh, straight to Drea as MJ's faked it.
Always in it. You called
Always
it.
in it. Always in it. And that is 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
And it was another little fake play there, I think, allowing Drea to get a shot. MSure have done that a few times now. I don't know how intentional it is, but it seems to be working mighty well.
Yeah, that's twice MJ's has come in for the fake and Dre's just been there to clean up. I'm going to assume it's a tactic.
If you
'Cause
see it
that's-
twice, you got to believe it.
Yeah, you have to believe it. Now, if there's a third, it's definitely a tactic. If there's not, they did it by accident.
Yeah, we like to call misses fakes in Rocket League,
Yeah.
as they are some of the most effective ways to break teams down. Sometimes you kind of go for them thinking, well, if I get the touch and it's a really crazy touch, then it's worth it. If I don't, then that'll also be good. So MJ maybe trying for something crazy, and then it consequently leads to an opportunity as he comes in, gets the block, sends it towards the net, 3-2. MSure retake the lead.
That was a very unfortunate goal for Cat Jam. I hope that one doesn't play on their mind. But
That is
that's his clearance
crazy.
into their teammate Crimson, into the goal.
All off the back of Steven missing it off the back wall, and then consequently the ball ping-ponging about in the middle and sent towards the net. A kick-off in favour of Cat Jam, and they get it straight back.
Quick response straight away. They are not letting up.
We just want to see Emishore take a game here. They've looked so good and do not deserve to be swept here, but Cat Jam keep responding straight away.
He responded straight away. And as each Cat Jam goal goes in, my crystal ball stops working.
Does it?
Maybe I was incorrect.
So,
but you never know.
so your crystal ball was a fraud. Not heard that before. And we
No.
see
I didn't scrub it hard enough, so I didn't look into the right fortune.
got to work on that technique. As we see the ball being kept in. Emishore really trying to force a goal here. This could be an opportunity, an awkward landing for Drea, but does keep it central. 2 up for Emishore. Chance now. Azzy sends it high. Stephen off the back wall. Similar place to where they missed before. Chances taken away there by Cat Jam as they try a counter-attack, but just another opportunity for Emishore to return the ball back into the half. Anything now, any miss from Cat Jam could result in a goal. We saw it before. Any of these awkward touches could lead to something special. Emishore up, off the corner, awkward bounce. Can Ducks get it? They do, and they start their own solo play. This is why they're so dangerous. Crimson takes control of it, and nothing there. So much ball in the midfield, neither team able to take an opportunity.
Drea clearing it back towards Cat Jam's corner, but you know, Dux is there. Dux is always there.
Oh, this could be a chance. Ducks booming that away. Thankfully, Emishore were ready, sitting deep enough to deal with it. Crimson up high. Bit of an overcommit here. Stephen alone at the back, low boost. Just need a slightly more clinical touch from Emishore when they gain possession after the overcommit. We see the pre-jump from Crimson, sends it high and wide, but creativity here. Having a bit of fun here as we see Cat Jam really trying to force it.
They are really here to give us a show. They believe they're going to win. That's so much they can try whatever fancy thing they haven't done before.
Exactly. 25 seconds remaining. We see both teams having a go here. Neither team wanting to try anything too crazy. Always got that deep third waiting to clean up afterwards just in case. As we see Stephen missing it. Ducks takes control. Awkward bounce in favour of Emishore. A final second goal. Final second heroics. A chance here for Emishore. They send it towards the net. Stephen not bumped. So that ball will go down towards the ground here, and we will go to overtime.
It's our first overtime of the day. Seeing how Thursday went, clearly overtime it works better out for Cat Jam. But do you think something else can happen today? Do you think this is Cat Jam's sip? As I speak,
Straight away.
as I speak. Why do I speak?
Crimson solo play baits out a poor clear, and it drops straight on the half volley for Stephen. The clean-up player on Cat Jam all series long. Superstar player for this team, just coming around and taking another opportunity to score, and that's going to be a 3-0 there. Sadness. You're smiling through the pain right now.
Yeah, you have to smile through the bit. The camera's on my face. I have to smile. That is another 3-0 to Cat Jam against Emishore.
Close as well. One
Very
goal games
close.
the whole way.
Yeah, exactly. Just as close. So the teams aren't that far apart in skill, but it was just an interesting matchup to have again following Thursday. So, they did their best.
It was the cleanups from Stephen, but to clean up that series, I'm going to send it back to Ginny, who's going to hopefully break you a bit down, a bit more.
All right, Ginny trying to bring this one down with Gleany. You're very happy because Cat Jam won it, but you were also a little anxious when overtime came for that third round, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, my heart was in my chest, popping out. I was like, oh my gosh, it was insane. I think what really helped Cat Jam out is them quick replies. If Emsure went up, quick reply back with a goal. It was very exciting Rocket League to watch.
Absolutely, but this also does mean that unfortunately for Emsure, they are now going to be going to the semifinals because they're going to have to either place third or fourth, but Cat Jam are through to the grand finals. They're going to be awaiting their opponents for whoever wins next game. But when we're looking at Cat Jam and how this one went up against Emsure, it was still a pretty close game, especially that first round, the second one with Emsure coming through with a couple of last-second goals, and then overtime on the third one. Are there any signs of worry for Cat Jam, or is Emsure just such a strong opponent?
I think there's worrying signs for Cat Jam there. There's some really impressive goals that they had, Team Emsure had, which was just making it even more exciting. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what Cat Jam do in the finals.
All right, you're interested to see what Cat Jam do in the finals. I'm interested to see what Cat Jam does in the finals. But most importantly, I am excited, I'm very interested to speak with Crimson, who is ready for the interview from Cat Jam themselves. So, hi Crimson, how's it going? Okay, I can't hear anything at the moment, but I'm assuming that Crimson is very happy with how this went. Are you happy? Yeah, we're gonna wait for the interview, but I'm assuming Crimson is happy. You know, why wouldn't they be?
Super happy. Fantastic gameplay from the entire team. Those set pieces were really, really strong. They were just dominating, as well as coming back defensively. They were starting to do a little bit of razzle dazzle, you might say, towards the end, which they did concede a couple goals off the back of that. But it's just great. It's great to see Cat Jam play.
You just gotta spice it up a little bit, make it a little bit more flashy, and that's exactly what they've done. And yes, potentially you're conceding a couple of goals, but I do think that when we're looking at Cat Jam and how they have been performing in the last couple of weeks, they're just every single week they just come back stronger.
They do, stronger and stronger. I mean, like we said earlier, they had that upset early on in the competition.
Yeah, the first game that they played, actually, and we were like, what?
What? Everyone was so surprised. And then they just switched. They switched and they've turned it up ever since. And that's why they're my favourite. That's why I think they can afford to be a bit more flashy as well. And, they got that winner swagger.
Winner swagger. I like that one. Okay, we're going to keep that one in mind because we're going to try the interview once again with Crimson, who is ready. Hi, Crimson. How's it going?
Hello. How are you? It's, going not too badly. Yeah, going not too badly.
So I can't really hear what Crimson is saying, but I hope that they're happy because this has been going really well. I think as well, looking at the fact that Cat Jam now is in the finals, the next coming up game is going to be Endpoint against RNL Roar. And that is a game that, when we're looking at Endpoint specifically, you want to really see them in the finals, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Endpoint have been on point throughout the competition.
I see what you did there. Okay, yeah, okay. That's the only dad joke that you get for today. All right, Gleany, that's it.
They have been on point. And, but RNL Raw were the team that beat Cat Jam. So I think it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful match to watch.
Yeah, and just in terms of wondering where we are standing and what the bracket is looking like, let's have a quick refresher in terms of what we're having. So when we're looking at the bracket specifically, the first game that was played today was first seed of Cat Jam going up against the fourth seed of Emsure, and then the second game that we'll be playing today, it's going to be the game that's coming up next, and that is the second seed of Endpoint, and they're going to be going up against the third seed of RNL Roar. Now this is a really interesting one from my perspective because Endpoint had such a strong last couple of weeks, the only losing to Cat Jam in terms of that seed when it came to the rounds. RNL Roar, though, however, the third seed team, but also the only team that managed to get a win off of Cat Jam. So that might have been in the first week. We kind of spoke it down to maybe jitters or maybe just being a little bit scared or just warming up a little. But still, Jazzy, welcome. Lovely to have you. RNL Roar against Endpoint. But before we jump into that, Amateur lost.
I didn't
so
think we'd have to
sorry.
talk about that.
I'm
but it's
so
okay.
sorry.
Do you know what? It was bound to happen. Honestly, on paper, Cat Jam had every advantage.
Yeah.
You know, it was just nice to root for the underdogs. But,
Absolutely.
you know, they can still play for third place.
Yeah.
So they're not completely out of it.
Nope, they got
Exactly.
a shot. But Endpoint against RNL Roar. Now, this is an interesting matchup, second against third place. And as I was kind of already hinting at it, when we're looking at Endpoint, they have been absolutely phenomenal. And then you're looking at RNL Roar, and they're there on third because they beat Cat Jam. The only team to beat Cat Jam.
Dude, the only team to beat Cat Jam. So they're not a team that you can sleep on.
No.
They are a force to be reckoned with, clearly. They beat the only ones to beat the top seed.
Yeah, which is
Like,
crazy.
It's insane. But Endpoint, if they're on their A game,
Yeah.
Unbeatable.
Yeah, and
honestly.
the thing that when we're looking at Endpoint as well and how the games for them have gone, I mean, you're seeing a lot of 3-0s here, which is correct. Some of the games have been very quick. But then against RNL Roar, they managed to get one round off of them. So it was a 3-1 and a 3-1 against Amateur. And of course, the loss against Cat Jam, because why would you win against Cat Jam, right? So, yeah.
Not you, Cat Jam fan as well.
I gotta root for the winners, you know. I'm just speaking cold hard facts.
No.
But
Cat Jam, I don't hate you, by the way. I don't.
okay,
I don't.
gotta throw that in the mix
Sorry.
as well. But when we're looking at Endpoint as well, I think the performance from the last couple of weeks has been phenomenal. So that to me brings the question of how are they going to be showing up against RNL Roar? Are we going to be seeing a similar scoreline?
If we get the Endpoint we had in the first, second, and fourth week,
Yeah.
because I think that was the only weeks they didn't lose, then honestly, RNL Roar don't have much of a chance, to be honest.
Do you want to give percentages?
Percentages? RNL Roar's chance of being Endpoint, I'd give them 40%.
Okay.
I'd give them a 40%
We'll take
chance.
those. That's
Yeah.
better than zero.
Exactly, because
Absolutely.
RNL Roar, they have shown they are not a team to actually sleep on at
Yeah.
all.
Absolutely. I mean, when we're looking at their wins, especially the one standing out to me is the Guild Academy being 3-0. Coming into this, we said that Guild is one of the top teams that we were expecting to see here. The fact that RNL was able to take them out, that says a lot about them. They went 3-2 against Cat Jam, which was the closest series against Cat Jam with the top seed. So I do think that they have what it takes. It's just a matter of can they take that and bring it into today and bring it into every single one of their games.
Exactly. The beauty of the top four teams we have, literally any one of them could win this.
Mhm.
That, well, minus Emma Shaw now.
And it's amazing.
But all of them had an equal chance to win this.
Yeah.
It's just how they bring the A game, how they come into the game, their mentality is. So
Alright.
I'd love to see how the first game, especially, because that will determine how the rest of the series might go.
Are you expecting a certain outcome when it comes to this series? Are we thinking of a really close one? Do we think it's a one-way?
I think the series will be close. I feel like it will be a closer series than the last game we just had.
You
I
don't-
think
you
this
don't-
one actually
okay.
might be 3-1,
Okay.
maybe. But
Not
I-
a 3-2.
No, not a 3-2. But I still think it's in Endpoint's favor.
So it would be 3-1 for Endpoint.
Yeah, that's
It-
what I see.
Okay, is there a specific reason why that would be the case?
Endpoint, they're just different gravy. That's the best way I can describe it. Their team players are, other than Cat Jam, I just can't think of another team that has better link play than them.
Okay.
So that's gonna be, if that is the final, that's gonna be interesting.
All right. And that one round going for RNL, why would Endpoint give up one round?
They'll
Why
get,
not no rounds?
they'll get too complacent. They'll just have too much fun and then
Ah.
just let silly goals just fly over their heads.
Similar to what we've seen last game, a little bit.
Basically,
Yeah.
it's a running theme in Rocket League. Apparently,
Yeah?
everyone gets happy, pushes up, gets lobbed. So,
All right.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see how this game is gonna turn out, how this series is gonna turn out.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this is a bit of a reminder. It's a £5,000 prize pool. So coming into today, it does mean that you are first place going away with 1,500, second place with 1,000, third with 800, and fourth with 600. Now, when we're looking at Amateur, they are going to be competing for third or fourth. So that is going to be a matchup to look forward to. But our players that have already, the teams that have already dropped, that is Guild for 5th place, Simplicity for 6th, Asta La Vista for 7th, and Any Less Hope get £200 for 8th. I think it's really interesting to see because whoever's going to be in the final, it is going to be a £500 game because either you get 1,000 or you get 1,500. So it's a little bit of pressure there as well.
A lot of pressure. 500 actually makes quite a big difference. So it's a lot of pressure for both teams. But how are they gonna go under pressure? Are they gonna thrive under pressure? Are they gonna crumble?
Mhm.
That's what we just have to wait to see. But either team has literally an equal chance of winning. I just think in terms of which team has been together more
Yeah.
cohesive, Endpoint have that edge for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, and then so if we're expecting Endpoint to win, that means we're also expecting them to go up against Catjam.
Yes.
Now that one last time around, we were very much looking forward to it, and it ended up being a 3-0 in favor of Catjam. Is that something that we expect to see again? Was it maybe just Endpoint caught on their off day?
I kind of expect to see it again. Endpoint don't really. Their wins against Catjam is not previously resolved. They don't usually come out of those games on top.
Okay.
It's like I think because that happens so much, their mentality going into the game is the reason why they can't turn it around. But
gotta wait and see.
You've got a £500 difference. They might look into there.
Exactly.
You never know.
Well, will history repeat itself? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see as we're gonna be heading into the second matchup of today. We have the third seed going up against the second. So let's check in with our casters, Gleany and Gregan.
Hey, I'm Gleany, and I'm here with Gregan. And what do you think, Gregan? This is a pretty exciting game.
I feel like RNL Raw are the wild card. We don't know what they're capable of. They've shown they can beat the best team, the highest seed in the tournament, but then they've lost to some other teams where you'd expect, who knows what happened. That's the joy of these playoff games, is the Swiss told us a story, now we get to find out the end.
I'm very excited for it. I mean, like you said, RNL Raw are the only team to beat the top seed, and I don't know what's going to happen. Will Endpoint crumble? We saw that a little bit with Catjam when they faced them. Will they crumble in a final match under the pressure, or will they bring their A game?
Well, I mean, with Endpoint, they've always been a team that I've looked at that could have been up there with Catjam previously resolved throughout the whole season. They could have been a top 2 team, always making the finals. And then sometimes they just flop under the pressure at certain moments. As mentioned earlier on, they can sometimes have a bit too much fun and try and do these crazy team plays. And so it can be a lot on them as to how they perform, and they can fluctuate a little bit. But I think right now, they've shown in this tournament they're in good form right now.
They have shown that they're in good form. I 100% agree with what you're saying. I think out of the games, obviously the final, who do you think is going to be in there?
I mean, Catjam. That's the easy one. And then I think probably Endpoint, but I do see this being an upset if RNL Raw come through. Like we mentioned before, Guild Academy kind of expected to be in that top 4, and then RNL Raw, probably the team that kind of stole that spot in a way due to that win against Catjam. That was a huge opportunity, and then beating Guild Academy themselves. So I think really we've got to look at RNL Raw and say, what can you bring? You've shown you've stepped up for this tournament. Can you bring another level going into this game where before it wasn't quite as close?
Yeah, let's see if they can bring it. 100%. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I think the RNL Raw could surprise us.
It was 3-1 before, wasn't it? Endpoint won 3-1 against them in the Swiss stage. It was a long, grueling Swiss, 7 rounds. So it could be the case of that was the consistency that comes in when you're a more experienced team like Endpoint are. You're going to tend to perform better along a big Swiss because you've got that more consistent approach. But then, like we said, Raw could come in here and surprise us on this moment. And a lot of it comes down to that first game. If that first game goes against Endpoint, then that could throw them off a bit and they could mess up. But for Raw, I think they're going to have that resilience just to play through it and just have fun with it.
Yeah, well, we saw that resilience when they went up against Catjam. Whereas if Endpoint, I think throughout our roster, if they go down at the start, they struggle to come back.
Well, with Rocket League, it's a bit of an underdog benefiting game because it's such a mental game. You've got to be feeling good, you've got to be playing good. The better you play, the more you win, the better you play, and it can often spiral out of control. And so consequently, those underdog teams, if they've made it to this stage, and that would have been their achievement, right? So for RNL Raw, they might be thinking right now, we made top 4, that's amazing. Everything now is a bonus. So they'll come in with no pressure, and then that's where they can start to perform. And maybe Endpoint right now are thinking about Catjam.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, we're just waiting to find out where the players are. We thought they were coming in a bit ready, but sometimes there's some technical difficulties. So we'll have a little break and we'll come back with the game in just a moment. Well, we're back. I'm sorry about that little break there. We just had to work out what it was. It turns out cross-platform was not on for one of the players. So we'll be going into the game now with everyone allowing all consoles to come into the lobby, and we'll get started shortly. But this is the game. We're going to remind you of where we're at. This is the semi-final to find out who's going to be making it into the final and who will be dropping down to that consolation final between Endpoint and RNL Raw. We had a little chat before about the chances here. Do you want to remind the people at home where we think this game is going to be going?
Well, it's kind of in Endpoint's favour, but RNL Raw have surprised us within the competition, so it really is kind of a little bit up in the air.
Yeah, and there's always that uncertainty with teams like RNL Raw when they take a big win, but then they take losses to teams that are expected. You're uncertain of where they sit amongst the tournament. Was that an overperformance? Was that CatJam underperforming when they lost? You'll never really know the full outcome. So we'll find that out now in a best of 5 between Endpoint and RNL Raw as we see the players dropping into the lobby. And there it is. Takara, Slumpy and Alanis on the side of Endpoint. And we have Serac, Rose and Moxie. Moxie the sub coming in.
And we're off. Suck with the ball. Moxie's
the console player that we
okay.
So that's why we had to get the cross-platform sorted out.
Saka bringing it through.
Yeah.
Down. Easy for Slumpy to pick up.
Yeah, the ball's just a bit of tennis at the moment, bit of back and forth.
Alanis. Can she create something here? To the middle. Nothing really to pick up on.
Ooh, a chance here for RNL Raw. Closed down early, Alanis. Good recovery from Endpoint, fast back into the play.
Alanis bringing it down now. Rosenblush, it's a fight in the middle. Alanis is there, brings it down for...
Not quite.
Not quite able to capitalise on that opportunity. Tactical demo there.
Yeah, it's really tough with these plays to try and like be creative and try things that are unorthodox, but to get them to work is always the hardest bit, especially when you don't want to overcommit. Both teams being very safe right now, not sending too many players forward. So it does mean these touches are just between two players, easily taken away. And an opportunity now for RNL Raw. A good touch from Rose here could lead to a goal. Just flops down to Kara, taking it away.
Oh,
there we go.
Rosenblush just bursts in there and gets a goal. Absolutely incredible. She seemed to come from nowhere.
Yeah, you see there, Moxie just diving into that ball into the corner, pings it towards the middle, and it caught the defense off guard. Slumpy not quite in position, a bit too close to the play. The ball over the top, and the defender behind not able to read it, and that's an opportunity there. And those kinds of goals, they're a little bit chaotic in defense, but they do open up opportunities. Alanis trying to block it out. Slumpy sends it middle.
Oh, okay, bring it down. Not quite.
It's tough there. Just a little bit of blocked up defense, unable to make it through the RNL Raw, tongue twister, RNL Raw defense. What we see in here.
They're bringing it down. Rosenblush just clearing it out with ease.
Yeah, it seems to be good control right now for an RNL Raw. They don't seem to be panicky at all.
No, they seem to be on top of it. I don't know why. They turn up against the big teams. They've been very confident against top seeds.
Yeah, we mentioned before about the lack of pressure there is for them. They can just enjoy these games, and sometimes that's enough to allow you to perform at your very best. And for Endpoint, there's so much pressure on them. They need to win this game. They should be winning this game in their minds. So they're going to be feeling the nerves a little bit more here. As we're about halfway through the game, 1-0 to RNL Raw. Still plenty of time for Endpoint to work out how to break down this defense. So far, it's been met very easily by RNL Raw. they've covered all bases.
Slumpy now. Moving it to the middle. Rosenblush just easily clearing it out there. Alanis with the long ball. Saka, Rosenblush getting the ball.
It's just sort of back and forth at the
Yeah,
moment, isn't it? Down the sideline, nothing too threatening.
It just seems like end-to-end stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's really the key right now is good structure from RNL Raw. They're not allowing anything easy through, no mistakes as well, which always helps. And with that, you tend to see the creativity required from Endpoint to break through. And this could be an opportunity right here. That little tip-on from Slumpy could have broken down the defense. Alanis following it up. Now a chance.
Alanis
Just
could
missed
have
that.
just missed it off the side there.
It was a hard read. Dakara's touch, hard to
Slumpy
judge.
trying to go again. Saka easily takes it out. Alanis now, the game maker, the game inventor. She's very, very dynamic in this game. She's been throughout the whole competition. Will she be able to create something here?
Sure, it's struggle town right now for Endpoint. They're really feeling the pressure of that scoreboard, the 1-0, making them feel like they have to force a goal. There's a chance there, bobbles away. Moxie
The backboard.
able to clear it away, and we can just see under
Slumpy.
got to try and get it out. Can they clear it away? The speed from Endpoint right now, just keeping it in over and over again.
Yeah, they're keeping the pressure on in the other end. 1 minute left remaining.
Big clear, very nice.
Taka now. Slumpy. Can they create something here? Alanis now moving the board towards the center. Rosenblush just easily clearing it. Slumpy going again. Alanis now. Didn't win the 50-50. It's now in the other end.
Oh, what a touch from Slumpy. Doesn't catch Moxie off guard. We're just seeing this, the lack of passing plays from Endpoint we expect them to do, and they're just not quite stringing together the quality of offense we're used to from them, and they might give away a goal here. Slumpy clears it away. A few more chances now for Endpoint. Only 15 seconds remaining. Can they do it? At the moment, they're having to defend first.
This is not what we expected to see.
Takara
5 seconds
intercepted.
left. Alanis just keeping them.
Final chance here. And it's down straight away. RNL Raw.
Raw.
Who'd have thought, eh?
Not the result I was expecting.
Not at all. RNL Raw coming through with that 1-0, an early goal. That early pressure in the corner led to a loose ball in the middle that they scored, and they just defended brilliantly from there on out.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you said about the pressure being off and RNL Raw just sort of having fun with it, and like Endpoint just seemed to be like crumbling a little bit under the pressure. They didn't really make any opportunities. It was really an interesting game. It was similar, I feel, to their position against Catjam, where they just sort of froze and didn't really create any opportunities. And yeah, maybe we're going to have a repeat of that performance. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me was Endpoint looked nervous and wooden. Like, the way they were playing was very basic stuff. They're just hitting the ball away, losing control of it over and over again, using a lot of boost to do not very much. Whereas when they start to take control of it, just draw in, soak up some pressure, it'll create that space for them. And hopefully they adapt to that in the next game and they start to be a bit more comfortable holding the ball rather than feeling that need to just rush it away every time, which is a typical nervous habit that people build up. We'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, this is going to be an important bounce back now for Endpoint. They dropped that first game. RNL Raw, this could be an upset for them. They've got that game in the bank now, but this is a chance now for Endpoint to wake up and play the level that they know they can. And nothing against them. Obviously, RNL Raw, a valiant opponent, really showing up at this moment. But Endpoint really need to find their next gear.
Endpoint now coming forward, pushing.
That's
Different
the one.
play, Alanis, but fantastic save there.
This is more like it from Endpoint. They've come out aggressive early, keeping the ball close. Oh, it's going to be an intercept. A chance here.
Yeah.
Shot on target.
Oh, what a goal.
Rose.
Rosenblush is just absolutely capitalizing on the loss of the 50-50 there, and just off the side takes it into the back of the net. Fantastic play.
Amazing. Just that three-person play coming back to bite them. One intercept is all it takes then. They really need to start taking players out of the game. At the moment, they're doing stuff for the sake of doing it. They're not taking away RNL Raw's resources.
Will they get another goal here? Wow, just off the bat again. RNL Raw just absolutely taking it to Endpoint here.
So much confidence from them.
I know, it's fantastic to see. Let's see if there's a reply from Endpoint here. Alanis. Double tap off the ball, but it didn't go there. It was for Slumpy!
What a shot from Slumpy on the volley, sends it below the crossbar. Alanis, the creator of that goal, that double tap really scrambling the defense. And that shot is harder than it looks. Slumpy meeting it in the air, no bounce, sends it to the top of the net, nice and powerfully, and that's 1-1.
Fantastic goal from Slumpy, but again, the origins was Alanis there, making it, creating it.
Should be safe. Just got to be patient here.
Oh, the double tap off the board.
Keeping that pressure on. Moxie being very aggressive for some of their challenges. Almost like that confidence that we spoke about is coming through with the challenges. They're going earlier than most would expect. And it means that they're catching Endpoint off guard. And that's been mostly Moxie that's been able to do that and led to that first goal in the first game. Chance now for Endpoint as they take it around the corner. Just got to try and beat that last defender. Got to keep it close to do so. If you send it too far, they're just going to read it. Chances here. Endpoint don't seem to be that creative right now.
No, they don't. They're creating opportunities around their post, but they're not really capitalising on them.
Yeah, they're very much like one pacing every touch at the moment. Oh, you see the confidence there from Rose, just coming in trying to block that one out. And yeah, the one pace thing I was speaking about, they every ball they're hitting hard. They're not mixing it up. They're not slowing it down, taking control. They're just banging it as hard as possible, and then consequently the defense sitting nice and deep and reading it.
Slumpy now, bringing it to the centre. Alanis loses the 50-50, but Taraka is there off the backboard. Is there a player to meet it? No, but Rosenblush just pushes through there, but it doesn't really come or amount too much. Rosenblush now, Taraka trying to move it into the centre. Again, no players there from Endpoint. Rosenblush keeping it high, should be able to get it down. Alanis is there to block, bringing it to the centre again.
Chance to breathe. Nice big clear, that 50 sent it away, gave him a bit of time. And that's
Slumpy though!
Oh, just too low on the shot, just sending it straight into the keeper, and they're going to get a free counter-attack opportunity. I want to see what Alanis can do in the air here, a little bit of a solo play. See that early challenge from Moxie's really throwing them off. One in defense, can it be beaten with his final touch? Chance for Alanis to come in and keep that pressure on. You can see the boost is disappearing here for RNL Raw.
Slumpy off the middle, but Tarka's there!
Takara coming in.
Takara, what a goal!
Finishing it off. You see Slumpy off the sidewall, really breaking them down. You see the difference in pace of the touch there. Just that cute touch into the middle. Sends it down to the player. Low on boost, defense can't do anything.
The back of the car, the disrespect with the back of the car.
Chance to respond straight away. And this has been the story of today so far. In the other semi-final, we watched a lot of kickoff goals go through, especially to level the score after going down straight away. But plenty of time left, only 2-1. Can RNL Raw keep this upset train going?
Oh, beautiful set piece there. Didn't quite work out for them, but, you know, RNL Raw are trying.
Double chance. Just missed out, Alanis. Trying to keep that ball in. It's just not anyone able to follow it up. Don't want to overcommit at this stage. Keeping that deep third to make sure they get the clears.
Alanis keeping the ball, winning the 50-50 twice. Taking it round. Well, not quite able to get it to drop. Slumpy was there, but it didn't really come to anything.
I like that, the change-up, trying to go for those 50-50s rather than outplay every time, because the moment you outplay one player, there's often another one of your opponents waiting just behind it, ready to clean it up. So waiting for them to come to you can often be the greatest way to draw players out of the game.
We now got 45 seconds left. It's 2-1, but Slumpy makes it 3-1. What a goal. Absolutely incredible. Endpoint have woken up and said, you know, you roar at me, but I roar back.
That was beautiful there from Endpoint. Using the opponents to pass to them. Bait them in, draw them in, make them hit it to where your teammates are and get that free opportunity. Clinical finish from Slumpy. This is more what we expected. You see they've settled down. They're trying to play a little bit more intelligent. The first game it was very panicky. And this is typical in Rocket League. We often see the higher seed teams drop the first game as they come in a little bit panicked. And this is the adjustment from Endpoint. Settled down, ready to take this game. But a chance here. It's 3-2 now. Moxie getting the breakaway. An opportunity to score on net there.
Keeping the pressure on. Keeping the pressure on with 19 seconds to go. Do you think there'll be an overtime situation?
There's always a chance. And you can just see there from the touch from Rose. It was so clinical, the way they use their dodge there. It shows that they're calm, that they're relaxed, they're enjoying it. And that's going to be the difference maker potentially here. If they do take it to overtime, shot just wide. Lance going to have to try and clean it up. Sent to the middle. Creativity there.
Alanis now.
Just missing out on the opportunity. This is the final chance here. This double tap's going to be tough. And that ball's going to drop down. Endpoint going to be taking game 2.
Nice.
Solid performance.
Solid performance, yes. It has been absolutely incredible to watch these two teams face off against each other, and it's getting interesting.
Yeah, I think the way Endpoint recovered their nervous gameplay from the first game really showed through there. I think there's still another level for them, and I think you really can tell with the quality of the touches they're going for. They start to integrate some more varied paces, sometimes drawing them in, going for 50s and things like that, and that led to a few of their goals and good opportunities. It's very easy in Rocket League, and you often see it in ranked 3s. It's the classic thing where people just boom the ball away because they don't want to have time on the ball, they don't have to control it because they're nervous, they don't want to have to be the person who does the big play. But when you're playing in tournaments like this, every one of those Endpoint players needs to step up and take control of that ball and take as many players out of the game as possible. And that's what Raw are doing. They're comfortable with playing in that boomy gameplay and capitalising it a little bit. So still close. Raw have to try and step up still, but Endpoint's starting to settle in, I think. Yeah,
I think you're right. Endpoint have really settled. You saw that kind of shaky game the first game, which they conceded, but now they're more foundationally solid. You saw the set pieces coming out; they're just a lot more clinical, like you said. And yeah, we'll see what RNL Raw reply with here. So we got the next match coming up.
Starting with the double diagonal kickoff here, and we'll see the reset of the score. 0-0, 5 minutes to play. Who's going to be the one to go ahead early? And if it's anything like last game, Endpoint came out strong and really set the pressure off as fast as possible. And you see that's a good opportunity now for a counter-attack from Raw. A good 50 could lead to something. It does go to safety. Rose going to try and do some fancy mechanics. Sidewall read. Opportunity. Moxie off the corner. Chances coming through.
Rosenblush bring it to the centre, but Slumpy's just there waiting.
Oh, very good there.
Oh, beautiful play.
You see that from Slumpy, just the 50-50 in the middle and then clearing out completely to let Takara come in and take out that last player. Moxie found a little bit far up as the final player. But to be fair to them, they had a lot to do as the last.
Yeah.
So 1-0.
1-0. 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go. Will there be a quick reply from RNL Raw? Let's have a look. Alanis! Oh, what a save by Sarek there.
Yeah, just not quite enough power, but it was an unexpected touch to the middle from RNL Raw that I don't think Alanis was quite expecting. Just kept the pressure on. I like the flip reset there, keep control of it. This is what we were saying about before, is the amount of overly hit touches are reducing in frequency from Endpoint. They're trying to take control a bit more often. Oh, what a little bop from Moxie, a little doink on the goal line.
Fantastic. Quick reply. 1-1, 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go.
Oh, shout out to Cole and Stumpy, two Rocket League casters who love a doink. I don't know if they're watching right now. If they are, there you go. There's a little doink for you. As that was on the goal line, that final little touch, impossible to read really. It's just so unpredictable. And Moxie was rotating out and then suddenly decided, you know what, I'm going to turn back in and have another go.
Looks like she's trying to do it again here. Alanis now pushing through, trying to get one back. But Rosenblush easily clearing it. Goes down to Takara. Keeps it high, but it doesn't really amount to much. But Slumpy's there. Tactical demo. It goes to the centre, but doesn't come to any Endpoint player. Rosenblush keeping it high.
Oh, what a shot!
What a shot!
You see there the play from Rose to Moxie, back to Rose in the end. Almost saved the shot on their follow-through. Quite lucky to keep that one on target. But yeah, that little solo play on the sidewall really setting up an opportunity. It seems like Moxie loves to come in and clean up after the teammates.
She likes to Moxie up.
I'm pretty sure you had your dad quote quota for the day earlier on. So we'll see what happens here. 2-1. And we'll swiftly move on from that.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 12 seconds left. All to play for here. RNL Raw really coming back at endpoint.
I would say the mechanics are looking stronger on RNL Raw as well. Individually, they all look
Alanis
amazing.
just pushing it in, dipping it down. Fantastic goal.
And I say that as a missed touch from Sarah, and you see Alanis just coming in. The flick over to that first challenge needs to come out earlier to force something so the keeper could make it. But off the back of a mistake, sometimes the defense is scrambled and you can't quite read it. But 2-2 the score line.
Moxie trying a quick reply there, but Slumpy's just there to sweep it up. Bringing it down to Kara now, pushing. What can we create here? But Moxie, again, just pushes it out. Slumpy now with the ball. Pushing it more towards the centre. Sakara, though, intercepting. Sakara clearing it.
See these like aerial plays that we're seeing from the RNL Raw, they seem a lot more comfortable right now. And you know, that speaks of the expectations of this game. Endpoint will be feeling a little bit more tense. You can see it in some of the aerial plays. That's why I think they're sticking to the ground plays like we saw earlier from Alanis, a little less highly mechanical. They can focus on doing those a bit more consistently. See a chance here, Rose.
Blush just pushes it
Almost.
off the backboard.
Oh, another miss.
Takara's there.
Oh, these misses from Serac.
Alanis!
That's the second goal off the back of a miss in the midfield, and that's going to be a great breakaway for Endpoint. Takara putting it awkwardly into the corner. Makes it really tough for Rose, and Alanis comes and cleans it up.
Fantastic work. Alanis has been the kind of MVP throughout this competition. Just creating plays, just being there, just you know, making the miss hit. Like, some incredible work from Alanis.
Yeah, and it's one of those tough ones in Rocket League. Do you play with confidence to the point where you might miss because you're going for something that's a little bit risky? Or do you go for the safer options where you might not get as many opportunities? And what I love about RNL Raw is they're really trying things that are pushing their own ability. And that's something that you can see in these bigger games could pan out in their favour. They've scored some amazing goals, and we see it again here. Rose really trying stuff here. He's got the opportunity in the middle. He's going to go for the fake!
Fake, and what a goal! Rosenblush is absolutely faking it out, bringing it down, just rolling it in.
I love
Alanis
that.
not sure what to do and just takes and creeps it past. Fantastic play.
With the little wiggles, faking that mid-pass as well, and just lets the ball roll the whole way. I love a play like that. A little fake 2v1 on the breakaway. And this is exactly what we're talking about. We want to see RNL Raw playing with confidence, trying things, pushing themselves. And they're really doing that right now as we see Sarah off the sidewall, trying something a little bit spicy. Doesn't quite work out, but teammates there to clean up. Shot opportunity. So much pressure here from Raw.
Sakara now pushing it out. Slumpy's there. Oh, but Rosenblush is just there to pick it up. A great opportunity. 1 minute left. Moxie now. Moxie's been a great creator for RNL Raw. Alanis pushes it out.
Oh, there's a chance Alanis.
Is Alanis going to do back? Not quite. Trying the trick, but it didn't quite work out.
Loves those ground plays, Alanis, trying to just dribble it through. Bit of a misclear here from Takara. Rose now in the air. Tries to get the flip reset, doesn't quite get it, but again, got to try these things. We see that ball breaking away. Good control in defense. They're tracking back so fast. That's the key right now. You're going to go for these
bringing
big
it down
plays.
for Alanis. It bounces. Will it creep in? Oh, fantastic save from Sakara.
20 seconds left. Goal now could secure the game. This is the game to go ahead to make it 2-1 in the series. It's a very powerful spot to be in a best of 5. You've got 2 match points. Either of these teams going to get it in this final moment. Don't want to overcommit just in case the breakaway. Slumpy
with a big ball off the back part. Takara's there though.
Straight
off
down.
The backboard. Oh, shot Alanis! Fantastic in the last second. Secures the win. 4-3. Fantastic.
What a pass as well from Takara, putting it in that spot where it's so hard to read from the defensive point of view, but Alanis reads it, hits it on the volley. That ball can't touch the ground, because if it does, that would be going to overtime. The final goal there, 0 seconds, 4-3, end point. Go to match point.
That was crazy. That last goal was beautiful. And, oh, man, this has been a real invigorating game.
Close game as well, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. We heard on the analyst couch beforehand, it was, well, it could be 3-1. You know, that's what it was in the Swiss stage. Endpoint in favour 3-1. You know, the way these two are playing, this wouldn't surprise me if it went to game 5 because it's so close. 1-goal games. Either team could take it, but Endpoint definitely settling into it. So you do worry for Raw whether they've got the ability to keep up with that.
Yeah, it's like they get better every game. Every game they get more settled. Every game they calm down more. And it's just making RNL Raw have to bring their A game even more. And they have, making these games very close.
Alanis has stepped up big time. Some huge plays, and that final goal there, one of many. Takara looking to be a bit more of a facilitator, just hitting the ball to the teammates. And I love to see that too. You know, sometimes keeping possession is one of the hardest things to do under pressure. And Takara really trying to do that. So we'll see what the adaptations are in game 4. But Raw so close there in that game 3.
They were so close. It was like goal, then another side, and then another side, and it's just like mounting up and mounting up. Draw. I really thought it might go into overtime.
Yeah, I'm really liking the way RNL Raw are playing right now. It's really putting a lot of pressure on Endpoint. They're getting there quick, they're playing fast, playing confident. And you see moments like this, that confidence comes through, almost leads to a goal.
Alanis is just there to pick it up though, bringing it through. Slumpy now, will they be able to create something with a cross? Rosenblush is there to pick it up, bringing it through to the middle. Takara again with Alanis off the backboard. Takara again on goal, but not quite. Rosenblush pushing it through, keeping it high. Slumpy bringing it down, and Rosenblush pushes it in for RNL Raw. Fantastic play.
Yeah, just that 50-50 Rosenblush coming through and just really finding that way to send it the whole distance. Because of the fact it pinched with the offensive player, it made it so hard for Slumpy. Found himself a little bit too far forward. And that's the downside of these passing plays. If they don't work out, too committed, leaves one alone for a while, and it can be quite tough to defend. Good 50.
Good 50. It's pushing out Slumpy, trying to get it to the other end here. Keeping it on the ground. Takara taking advantage of that stop. Alanis now trying to get it through to the center, off the backboard. And there's no Endpoint team member to pick it up. Rosenblush now looking for a chance for RNL Raw.
Well, this is dangerous. Chance for Endpoint. Misread off the back wall. Thankfully, the player tracking back just able to clean it up in the midfield. It's just been so good by Raw. They've been covering for each other. And the rare chances that a miss comes through. And you see the bump play attempt. Keeps Alanis static. Sets up a bottom right corner shot. And we see RNL Raw go up 2. You see there Alanis having to back off just to avoid that bump. And that's the second time now we've seen Alanis alone in the 2v1, left in a really tough position with a near impossible situation.
It is now 2-0, 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go to RNL Raw. Takara now coming with the quick reply, but it doesn't quite pan out. Rosenblush now trying to make something, loses the 50-50. Moxel just picking it up there, but there's
Slumpy.
a tap on from Slumpy that makes it 2-1. RNL Raw still winning, but what fantastic play. Alanis sets up the ball and Slumpy just puts it in the bottom corner.
I've seen a few of those from Slumpy in this series so far. Loves to be upfield, get those redirects, getting under it, tipping it on. That one just guiding it towards the net nice and fast. So bringing it back, plenty of time. We know the firepower that Endpoint has. I mean, last game there's 7 goals in total, so we know there's always opportunities to score. But
Alanis bringing it down for Slumpy. Can they bring it down? They're fighting there in the corner. It's on the line. Gets cleared off by Sakara.
So unlucky there. That ball off the crossbar and away. Good friend of mine calls that a Gregan shot.
Yeah, it was right on the line there. Unfortunate. It didn't quite tip over. But at the other end now.
Yeah.
Slumpy clearing it perfectly.
I think at this stage we've got to look at RNL Raw and think, are they just playing for the 2-1 now? Because when they went up 2-0, they stopped being as offensive. They're not trying to score any more goals, but can you hold out an Endpoint offense for the rest of the game? I think they need to try and create some opportunities. Otherwise, they will be stuck in defense for the rest of this game.
Alanis now trying to make something. Takara with a shot on goal. It hits. Alanis is there, hits the bar again. And then
the
there's a post! Oh my gosh!
Nothing
Absolutely
but woodwork.
incredible teamwork there. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out, but they were absolutely gunning for goal here.
Yeah, just trying to make sure those shots are point perfect. You know, if they're anywhere near the centre, there would be a keeper able to save them away. So perhaps a little bit more breakdown required. They need to get rid of these defenders before they start focusing on shooting. So Takara going to take control on the right side. Gets past one. Makes it awkward for the second. Chance for Endpoint now. Slumpy off the back wall. Miss clear. No boost in the tank for the two offensive players, so the final shot will be saved away.
Oh, what a goal. Slumpy. Again, it seems to just come from nowhere. Going back, Alanis hits it, taps out, but then Slumpy's there again just to push it in.
Yeah, I like the fact that Endpoint was so spread out there with their offense. It gave them the time to recover and come back in and keep that pressure on with the next touch. You can see that how that allowed Slumpy to come in and get that final shot. So 2-2 now. As we mentioned, you can't defend against this team forever. They'll eventually find a way to break through, especially when they start putting the shots on target.
Moxie trying to make something here. Sakara off
Oh,
the
what
back
a
wall,
touch.
bringing it down, tap in for Rosenblush, making it 3-2. Fantastic teamwork from RNL Raw.
Look at this centering just off the back wall. Just reads the roll down, and Rose covering that back post. Slumpy again positioned a little bit too close to the front post. But you just don't expect a little tip on like that. And that's the great offense that we know RNL Raw are capable of. And you can see just the difference in their attitude once they went back to 2-2. They started thinking, right, we've got to start scoring again. And it came through in the gameplay here.
They're still coming at Endpoint here.
A miss.
But there's a misstep and Slumpy scores. The quick reply. Endpoint are pros at the quick reply. They go down a goal, they come back.
And that's beautiful from Takara actually there, just keeping that ball close in the middle, so Slumpy's first to it. I think Moxie thought they could get to that quicker, and then when they noticed Takara hadn't hit it that hard, it suddenly fell in the lap of Slumpy, so they're able to beat them out in that 1v1, and those little misreads can be the difference maker, and it's so good from Endpoint. They're creating these opportunities to their own favour, and off the kickoff here, Takara to Slumpy, off the 50-50, straight into the net.
Goal. It's incredible. Like, you feel like RNL Raw are letting the game get away from them a little bit now.
Yeah, I think it's the challenge game that's really stepped up for Endpoint there, putting it in their favour. I mentioned Takara looking to facilitate quite a lot. They've been going in favour of the teammates, very much so at this stage. Shot high and away. A few more chances here for RNL Raw, but that one goal deficit will make it tough for them.
They're really trying here. Sakara trying to get the ball, win the 50-50. Moxie now bringing it down, but no one's there to meet it. Takara now pushing forward. Off the side, Alanis is in the centre. Alanis waits, pushes back off the sideboard for Slumpy. It's just picked up by Sakara. Alanis again trying to go for goal, kind of fighting by herself for the moment.
Chance here for RNL Raw. Slumpy.
Slumpy just picks it up.
Read it straight away. I think that was a pre-jump challenge from Slumpy there, coming in. Getting up so early. A few chances here. This could be a chance. Double tap missed. Shot opportunity not quite there.
10 seconds. Tactical demo there. There's Alanis. She's almost by herself in the end. She bring it down. But again, there's no Endpoint member to meet it.
It's just been so tough for them. They're really trying to force a goal in this final moment. Can they get a
Rosenblush can
0-second
get
goal of
0.
themselves? But they can't. They sent it down, and Endpoint going to take that game. Valiant effort, though, from RNL Raw. They really tried that whole game, but they just couldn't quite hold Endpoint out for long enough. Scoring 3 goals in its own right against any top team is amazing, but unfortunately Endpoint's offense too good.
Yeah, they should, give themselves a pat on the back, because that was some intense Rocket League. And, they tried. They really did. And you could see that Endpoint were worried at those moments, and then they just sort of came back with quick replies, and then RNL Raw didn't really know what to do with those quick replies, and, they were pushing as well. It was good. It was good Rocket League.
Yeah, 100%. I think RNL Raw really showed what they're capable of when they play with confidence, when they play fast. And I think that really came through in some of those solo plays to open up opportunities, and those early challenges was amazing from them. Well, I think they're ready over in the desk area. We call it a desk area. There's no desk over there, but maybe we can pretend there's a desk over there. Back to you, Ginny.
Can I pretend that This is the desk. It's a console, I guess.
Yeah,
Current
it's a solid desk.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll call it desk.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll call it the analyst desk area. But 4 and 3 was the final round. And coming into this, Jazzy, surprisingly, you said it was going to be 3 and 1 for Endpoint. Is your crystal ball working again?
It's picking and choosing when it wants to work.
Okay.
This one, I took the sleeve down and scrubbed it correctly.
As
that's
per
why
Gregan's advice,
exactly.
it was a little bit of a skill issue, but this time around, it's got fixed. Looking at this game, though, however, it does mean that Endpoint is going to be going into the finals up against Cat Jam, whereas Emiger and RNL Roar are going to have to fight it out for that third as well as that fourth place. It's a rematch because every single team has already played each other once anyway, but from this game specifically, what has been your biggest takeaway? For me, it was maybe Endpoint starting off a little bit slower, but also so impressed with RNL.
Yeah, Endpoint started extremely slow. I would have to say my biggest takeaway is how good RNL Raw is. The 4 of them, well, Pads wasn't here. They had Moxie in as the sub, but literally all 4 on the roster, they're not to play with.
No, absolutely
they are
not.
not. It's unfortunate they had to go against a team such as Endpoint, and now they're going against Emerson. You don't know how that's gonna happen, but
you wanna elaborate?
No, my
I would
crystal
love
ball is
to.
dirty.
You gotta wipe it again.
Yeah, little scrub.
a little bit.
But no, RNL Raw did surprise me. They did amazing.
Okay.
I will have to say they did amazing. I was correct.
Yeah, you were correct. And Endpoint are the ones to secure the win. So let's head over to our interview with Alanis to see how she's doing. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How's it going?
Not too bad. I'm doing all right.
All right.
Happy, chilling.
Lovely to see you again. A little bit of a slower start, though, this time around. Coming into this against RNL, did you guys expect it to go this far?
I mean, I think every time we play that team, we're pretty confident. We know we can beat them all the time.
Okay.
The slow start just kind of happened because obviously Takara was away on holiday. I've been busy, so had to get back into playing as a team. So a bit of a slow start, but I'm glad we managed to take it to them and beat them.
All right, you guys are now warmed up and ready to go. You're in the finals against Cat Jam. Any predictions? How are you feeling about that?
I feel like we could do it. Obviously,
Okay,
it'll be difficult. Harder than playing any other team, I personally would say, but I feel like we have the potential to do it 100%.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a full believer in that. I'm looking forward towards the finals. But before we head into that, we have the 3rd and 4th place matchup. So we got Emiger against RNL. Do you have a prediction for that? Do you want to give in your little...
I personally think MJ will take it
Okay.
either 3-1 or 3-0. That's my prediction.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your little break, and we're going to see you in the finals. So until then.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. We are going to be heading into a break for 5 minutes, and then we're going to be right back with the Emiger up against RNL. So grab a snack, grab some water, and we'll be back. Welcome back to the Bruce Championship Live Finals. With Endpoint and Catjam going into the Grand Finals, we now have Emmenger up against RNL Roar to determine which team finished third and which one finishes fourth. I'm Ginny, your host, joined this time around by Gregan.
Hello.
Lovely to have you.
GG on
GG
the
on the
desk.
desk. Yeah, it was GG earlier with Gleany, and now it's GG again. That was a GG Rocket League game so far.
It sort of went how we expected, but I think RNL Raw stepped up and showed a really good level, which puts them in good place for this next game coming up.
Ooh, okay. And next game, as we said, third and fourth place. So there is prize pool as well that they're playing for. I mean, you're saying it puts them in a good place, but Alanis on the interview, she thought I was going to go for Emmenger.
So I think Alanis was going based off of history. Now, what we know with teams when they're stepping up is they can sometimes go into a tournament like this and really over-exceed. And I think right now they're showing a level that's better than we've seen from before. But then obviously they've just come off a loss, which can often knock that kind of momentum out of a team. So I really don't know which way it's going to go, but I think Emmenger should be the one taking it based off of history.
Okay, I think Jazzy is going to be really happy with that as well, considering how Emmenger has been performing. I think as well, though, it's something that you guys touched upon during the cast is the fact that RNL Roar kind of just came out of nowhere, what it feels like, up against bigger names like Endpoint and Catjam. Is that maybe the opposite against not as bigger names as Emmenger?
Was Emmenger as kind of like the secret top team in WCBC. Like they're always there or thereabouts. You know, they're always near the top. They're always doing well. But I don't think people speak about them enough because they're always talking about Resolve, now CatJam or Endpoint. When actually, I think Emissure are incredibly consistent. They're very solid and they play a game well. So I think they can just come into a series like this and just play their game and come out on top because they are very, very solid.
Absolutely. And individual players, though, that you're keeping your eye out for this game that can potentially make the difference between third or fourth place?
Well, so in that last game, I was really impressed with Rose. They were coming out with some really good solo plays and very mechanical touches. And with Rocket League, sometimes you just have a day where you're like, I'm feeling it today. And we heard from Alanis that Takara wasn't feeling it because she's just been on holiday. So, you know, these kind of like differences, especially during the summer period like now, depending on how many hours these players have been having, it could vary hugely.
All right. Emissure, though, they had like a little bit of a longer break because obviously when we're looking at RNL Roar, they had a 5-minute break. They're now here. They're going to play it. They're a bit more warmed up. Emissure maybe depends again on what they have been done. But is that going to play a factor? The fact that Emissure is coming off of a loss, they've had a little bit longer to sit down, maybe even look at how RNL Roar is playing and they're like, ooh, this is scary.
Well, normally when you have a break, it gives you a chance to reset if you've had a tough loss. So maybe that'll give them a chance to reset from that unfortunate semi-final. So I think that does favour them a little bit. I think historically teams who've just come off a loss tend to struggle afterwards in Rocket League 'cause it's such a mentally tough game. It's very exhausting when you take a loss. So we'll see if that does play into the game.
All right. I kind of want to touch upon like maybe mentally exhausting, taking a loss and how that's played out more in the grand scheme of things, looking at Boost Championship in general. Because coming into this tournament, kind of expected to be seeing Guild Academy here in the live finals, in the top 4. That necessarily isn't the case because they're not here, surprise. What exactly, if you've had the chance to look at any of these games, went wrong for Guild or, on the other hand, went right for Emissure and RNL Roar?
Well, the Swiss is a really grueling format. You know, 7 rounds of Swiss. If you take a loss that you should have won, that can play into your next game and it can start to take over. I think for Guild Academy, maybe they took a loss that sent them into a worse gameplay in the next time. Mm-hmm. And so that meant that they took 2 losses where they should have only taken maybe 1 or not even 1 at all.
Yeah.
So I think that the 7 rounds of Swiss definitely has a lot more momentum involved in it. We've seen it in RLCS. We've seen teams win their first 2 games in a 5-round Swiss and then go on to lose 3 because each loss turns it into an even bigger failure in the next one. So 7 rounds of Swiss, toughest format I've seen in Rocket League in a long time. So fair play to all the teams who've made it through.
Okay, so even more respect to the teams that have made it here today.
Exactly.
And that's with the finals being CatJam against Endpoint. These 2 teams, like you said, they're always the top 2 in Europe. They're always competing for that number 1 spot. And we've kind of touched upon it earlier today with Jazzy on the desk as well, saying that, yeah, when we're looking at Endpoint, they have not really always come out on top, or never really, when they're going up against CatJam. Is that something that could be affecting them moving into that final?
Well, I'm good friends with the players there, and I've spoken to them about it. Yeah. And like, I think Slumpy said it to me before where they're like, we know we can beat everyone. Yeah. We know we should be able to beat everyone. But sometimes it just doesn't go that way for them. And I think with the performance in the Swiss, I think that really showed that they've got that ability to be a top team every single tournament.
Yeah.
But sometimes they just flop at certain moments. We saw it in that first game. Like the level of Endpoint in that first game in the semi-finals was probably one of the lowest of all 4 teams in the single game. But then they stepped it up and became really good in those 0-second moments, stuff like that. That's what the quality of them can come through. So I think a lot of it comes down to how they're feeling going in and whether they're feeling that confidence of a team that can beat anyone.
Yeah, I mean, speaking to Alanis as well after that particular game, she did say, like, we're feeling confident, we can do it, it's going to be difficult, but it's possible. So I think the confidence is there, and also, as she mentioned, you know, Taka's being on a little bit of a holiday, which happens when you're on summer. It does impact the players individually and how they've been performing, so I think the finals is definitely going to be an interesting one to watch. Last time, we had a lot of hopes for it, and it was a 3-0, so...
That's Rocket League. Rocket League does that all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, we see I mean, we saw it at the World Championship 2 seasons ago, and everyone was really excited for this final, and then it was like 4-1, very dominant performance. Everyone's like, okay, well, all this hype for this moment. So yeah, Rocket League can get very one-sided very quickly, as it's such a momentum-based game.
Yeah, just a reminder as well, we're waiting for the game to get ready. We have Emissure going up against RNL Roar. Both of these teams are fighting it out for 3rd and 4th. I know the conversation's kind of completely gone away from that
I thought you just really wanted to chat.
No,
that's what I thought was going on here.
We're still waiting for the game to get ready. So just giving everyone a little bit of an update. In terms of the games that we're going to be looking at, this one specifically, the winner is going to be £800 and richer. And then the quote-unquote loser is going to be 4th place, and they will have £600 in their pocket. So we're waiting for the lobby to get ready to dive into this one, and then the finals, we'll break that one down once we get there.
Do you reckon in the future, sorry, there's a bit of a sidetrack, do you reckon people will say money in your pockets? Because money doesn't really exist physically anymore.
It's like a saying. Why would they get rid of it, right?
But
it's
it might change. Perhaps people will be like, oh, money in your phone or something like that. Because
money in your phone. Because you got like contactless. That's a really good question. The answer of it is I would be very disappointed if money in your pocket goes away. I think that's a good saying. You know, it's like pop culture. You would rather say money in your phone?
I think right now people are thinking, why are they not talking about Rocket League? Because there is a Rocket League tournament going on. Sorry, I sent you on the sidetrack.
No, but it's fine. It's a good sidetrack to go on, you know, because we're trying to explore options and we're keeping people entertained. I feel like we've kind of like gone into all the Rocket League, but the only thing that I haven't asked you for is your prediction for this game.
I think it's going to be Emissure, 3-1.
3-1. All right, Jazzy's happy with that one. So let's send it over to our casters and see what they think in terms of their predictions.
3-1 Emissure.
Come on.
Gregon wants to get it like that, I swear. I swear. Well, Jazzy, I know your team Emissure like Stan.
Like a lot.
Like you love them a lot. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with RNL Raw.
Just because you want to go against me. Not because you want to win.
They performed that. Did you see that game?
No, they played out of their mind.
Did you see that game?
But do you remember who Emissure is and how they've been through this tournament?
I do remember how Emissure have been throughout this tournament. But RNL Raw, they got that spark today. They got that spark. I'm super excited.
Like Emissure did lose to Catjam, but it wasn't a crazy loss.
It wasn't a crazy loss. No, it was very close.
So both teams on their A game today. Who's going to come out on top for that 3rd place? Let's find out.
Let's find out. Teams are just dropping in here. Starting off.
There is our kickoff.
Sakara now coming in for a quick shot, but MJ just pushes it out onto the other end, off the backboard. Off the backboard again.
Both teams just coming off a loss. This is really going to be a battle of who really wants this more, whose mentality hasn't been completely destroyed from the first game.
100%. Oh, brings it down, but there's no one there to meet it. Rosenblush now trying to defend. Gets demoed.
Starting with a tactical demo. I feel like demos always happen with us. Demos and kickoff goals, but we didn't get kickoff goal.
Moxie pushing it in through, but
Joe's flying up to meet the ball. Now the ball's right.
Oh, but Azra's there!
And snuck right into the bottom right corner.
Azzy.
Oh, maybe RNL might.
They
turned it up today.
They have turned up today. What a fantastic goal. Great teamwork there. Managing to bring it down into the corner. Absolutely incredible.
Only 50 seconds in, 1 goal difference. A lot can happen. A lot can change.
Sakara trying to win the 50-50. Didn't quite pan out. Moxie now with the ball, bringing it down for Azzy. Sakara keeping it high up and towards the middle. Rosenblush meeting the ball off the side, off the backboard, but no player there.
No, nice little clearance out by Drea to stop the attack from happening, stop any goal from sneaking in.
MJ with the long ball. Sakara goes up to meet it, pushes it towards the center. Rosenblush. Will it drop? Just off the backboard.
Like I say, Rose has been playing out of their minds today.
Sakara now trying to edge it in, but it didn't quite work out. MJ now. This is a chance for Emissure. Azzy now.
Clearance into the middle, but blocked out by Sarek. How far can she take this ball?
Pushing it down into the corner, but Dre is there just to keep it out, keep it at bay.
Just to send it to the right side so no other RNL player could come for the dunk, as we would say.
Yeah. Sakara now into the center. Nearly outplays the 2 players. Catches them off guard a little bit, but doesn't quite pan out. Rosenblush put it in there, but MJ is just there, ready to clean up.
Just managed to rotate back in time before RNL could capitalize and equalize the score. Nearly half the game done. It's quite a slow one. Do you think both teams are cautious?
I think both teams are being very cautious, but Emissure just have that edge with that 1 goal, but it can all change very quickly in Rocket League. Azzy there just defending nicely and pushing it out. Rosenblush trying for a chance here, but Drea is there. Sakara now pushing it down towards goal, but Drea again. Fantastic defending.
Amazing defending from Drea, just there to stop the ball from passing the line. They had another defender back just in case it did go past Drea.
Saka now trying to push it towards Moxie, having a go. Didn't quite pan out. Sakura again. MJ is just there, waiting, defending beautifully. Rosenblush is having a go. It just seems to be attack after attack after attack.
Exactly. They have definitely pushed Emershaw back, but with them pushing forward, can Emershaw just lob it past them? Can they get round them and further their lead?
We're about to find out. Drea now with the ball. Long ball to MJ, who brings it down, but Rosenblush is just there waiting to pick it up. Moxie now on the counter, trying to get a cross in, but Drea's there. Drea wins the 50-50. Sarek pushing, doesn't quite pan out. Moxie now. Rosenblush with the push in. Oh, what a goal from Rosenblush!
Unfortunately, as he couldn't stop that. Facing the wrong way, unfortunately. And no other defender was there to stop that. So just a little equalizer, 1 minute remaining.
They get a tap on it, but it's not enough.
It's not enough. Not enough to clear it out. And 1 minute, 8 seconds remaining, equalized on the first game.
1-1, Scar trying to get a quick goal, and does! Oh my gosh, absolutely incredible. Off the bat, just pushes it through, wins the 50-50, and then just taps it in. Yeah. Fantastic.
Back to back, they did not wait for a response. They sent a very, very quick message straight away. RNL Raw have not come to play. They want that third place spot.
Some great gameplay from Sarek.
Bounce off the corner. Cleared further out by Sarek, but stopped by Drea. Sent back to RNL side. Is Emershaw, are they able to get a response in?
As he trying desperately to create something here. Rosenblush now loses the 50-50, but Moxie's there. Rosenblush again couldn't really quite direct it towards the goals. Sarek now trying to create something.
Drea just bumps that.
Rosenblush misses it out. Drea pushes it out. Sakara.
1 goal in it, 20 seconds left. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Drea trying to make something. Anzi on goal. It just dips, but
just blocked out by Sarek and further pushed out by Rosenblush.
8 seconds, all to play for. As he putting it into the middle. Rosenblush on.
And just another cheeky little goal to put further salt into the wound.
Fantastic gameplay. Look at this setup. Rosenblush just comes in like a wrecking ball up into the corner. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, beautiful goal. Beautiful goal to further extend their lead for the first game and secure this first game.
1 second of gameplay. And RNL Raw take it.
They take it just like that.
Hey, Jazzy, you see how RNL Raw are winning?
The first
You see
game,
how they're winning?
You see how Emershaw had the lead for a long time?
Yes, okay, true. Emershaw did have a lead
That
for a long
game was
time.
close. That was a close game.
It was a close game, but you could see RNL Raw's passion to win.
Did you see their first game against Endpoint? They won that.
True.
And then they lost the rest of their games.
Very true.
You never know. Emershaw might turn up. They might have been doing an Endpoint. They could have just taken a break that first game.
Yeah, what, lull them into a full sense of security?
Exactly, as they do. As you're supposed to do. But that was a brilliant first game. And I honestly can't wait to see how the rest of the series is going to go. I still believe it's going to be a 3-1 to Emershaw. You know, nice little game Emershaw gave them there.
Still the belief. Let's have a look. The teams are just loading in here. It's currently 1-0 to RNL Raw. Let's see what Emershaw do here.
What are the chances that Emershaw is going to get swept? I don't believe it's going to happen.
I don't. There's been very close games throughout. Oh, what a goal off the bat. I thought that was going in.
I thought that was going in.
That was some
Rose just blocked the
fantastic.
ball before MJs could get the last touch.
Fantastic defending there. MJ again. Drea just misses the ball. Rosenblush pushes through. Will they be able to capitalize on this? Rosenblush still bringing it down. Sarek was there but didn't connect with the ball. It's now at the other end. Moxie pushing up. Tactical demo there. MJ on the other side trying to push it back towards the goal. Azzy now with the bounce, but Sarek's just there to clean up.
The defense on both teams has been amazing. Both teams and their rotations has been great. It's just now for the team plays to show through, the passing plays. I think that would be the difference between which team wins this series and which team gets the 4th place.
Azzy now trying to create something. Rosenblush going high, bringing it down.
Another tactical demo there.
There's demos all over the place. You can see the passion here. Aggressive play from both teams. Drea now.
I think our presence forces each team to demo. We always get a lot of demos whenever we cast.
Brings it down. Drea now off the side, brings it to the middle. Azzy's there, but so is the other team.
Little miscommunication between the team members. Both of them went for the ball, ended up bumping each other.
Sarek now keeping the ball high, brings it down, but Drea again, time and time again, is just there, waiting, anticipating, picking up the ball. Rosenblush now doesn't quite
Blocked
get the
out
tap.
once again by Drea.
Sarek brings it down.
Drea seems to be catching them a lot in the air, reading them a lot within
MJ now with an opportunity for Emisha. Didn't come to much, but it's coming now down. Sarek now taking advantage at the other end, but MJ is there, wins the 50-50, brings the ball into the middle. Drea!
Just missed, just off the backboard with half the game remaining. What do you think is going through both teams' minds right now?
I think they're... Oh, Rosenblush just pushes it in for RNL Raw. It has been end to end. So the intensity here. I think they were unfortunate in their positioning there, but Rosenblush just came in, pushed it in. Fantastic play.
Very unfortunate. 2 of the players were just out of position, and one of them just missed the ball, which obviously will have an effect on whoever is in goal. So that was very unfortunate, but RNL Raw capitalized. They are 1 goal up with 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. But beauty of rugby, still anybody's game.
Still anyone's game. 2 minutes. Azzy now pushing it to the other end. Moxie was fantastic in the other game at creating plays. Let's see what Moxie's able to do here. Rosenblush pushing it through. Azzy winning the 50-50, taking it off to their goal. MJ!
Oh, and just bounced off the crossbar. That must be playing in their minds right now. That is
didn't get the bounce. MJ again going on goal. Azzy trying to recover the ball, but Rosenblush brings it down. MJ again trying to win the 50-50, doesn't quite. Azra, a beautiful play off the side, and again Azzy goes on goal, blocked out by Rosenblush's.
RNL Raw, they have a lot of success within the air, but it's I thought I was about to go into the bottom corner.
I thought I was a bit 2 players, but came off the side. Drea now. Azzy
popped out by Azzy and stopped by Sarek halfway.
Yeah, some risky defense there.
Very, very risky defense.
Rosenblush has been absolutely incredible this tournament.
You can see Amateur starting to understand if they really want to win this game, they have to meet RNL Raw in the air. His last game.
Azzy just dunks it in! What a
brilliant
score.
goal by Azzy.
Look here, you've got MJ that brings it to the centre, and then it's tapped out by Sarek, but then Azzy's just there to dunk it in. Fantastic.
It's an amazing dunk. Amazing pass by MJ. That was a brilliant team play right there.
It's now 1-1 with 40 seconds to go. Emshaw not making it easy for RNL Raw. Drea now bringing it off the side. Sarek just meeting it. Now trying to push it in as he pushes it out. Takes it all the way.
Nice little pinch. Is there a teammate to meet it? Unfortunately not.
20 seconds left. Rosenblush. Shot on goal, but Drea's there. MSJ Drea trying to push forward together. 10 seconds left. Off the backboard. And Rose Blushes scores for RNL Raw. Fantastic play. You see Sarek pushing it off the backboard, gently bringing it down for Rosenblush to just push it in.
Amazing play. Amazing pass from Sarek, and then perfect positioning from Rose to just finish that off. 7 seconds remaining, 1 goal difference.
Do you think they have a quick response here?
It's possible.
Drea going for the long ball for the lob off the backboard and to the ground.
And just like that, 2-0 to RNL Raw. I told you I didn't rub the crystal ball properly. I didn't.
No, you didn't. RNL Raw have been playing fantastically, but so has MSHA.
No.
This has been so intense, this game. It's been absolutely incredible to watch these two teams battle it out.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's nice to see RNL Raw finally show who they really are.
Hear me roar! That's what RNL Raw said.
I thought we were stopping her from saying these crazy things. I thought we stopped this.
But they've been fantastic.
They've been fantastic. And they showed why they beat CatJam.
Yeah, they showed why they're here.
Exactly. They didn't just come here by chance. They worked their way here. They forced their way here. They asserted dominance. And they're continuing to do that. Unfortunately against MSHA. But
yeah, not to take anything away from MSHA, because they've not made it difficult either. It's been very, very close games.
It's been very back and forth. It's been beautiful Rocket League to watch.
Yeah,
it
fantastic.
Has very close games, but the series they're getting out of hand now.
They are getting out of hand. They are. They need to calm down. I can't handle it.
But
my heart.
Let's see how this is going to go. Is this going to be a sweep for RNL, or is MSHA going to try reverse sweep this? Do you think it's possible?
I think it's possible for MSHA to reverse sweep, but I think RNL Raw's now got that fire. I think they're going to really, really come at them this game.
Yeah. So, third game, possibly final game. Let's see how this goes.
Drea now pushing forward. Great aerial work, but pushed out by Moxie. MSJ going on goal off the backboard. Doesn't quite connect with anything. A bit of a scuffle there on the side post. So Azzy, an interesting defensive play there, pushing back towards their own goal.
Yeah, very
to a
interesting
teammate.
Pass back. Almost didn't work out well because Rose was there, ready for the 50-50.
MSJ with a little tussle in the corner. Azzy now trying to get the cross off, but doesn't quite. Drea pushing the ball forward. Rose Blushes trying to create something here. Sarek bringing the ball down to win the 50-50. A lovely tactical play there.
Amazing double block by Sarek to first stop the initial goal and then stop the 50-50. Brilliant play. Brilliant control of her car.
Drea bringing it into the centre here. Rose just going for a goal. Shot on goal, going up in the air, but Drea's there to meet it.
Ball in MSHA's corner, but as he's trying to push it out, only as far out as
will it drop back? MSJ just there, ready to meet it. MSJ now with a chance for MSHA.
Drea there to meet the ball in the air.
Drea again, pushing on goal, but Rose Blushes just pushes it out. Sarek now.
It seems MSHA is starting to understand if they want a chance to win this, they have to meet RNL Raw in their end. That's where they had their most success in their endpoint game.
This is very true. Drea now.
Nice little block out by Rose.
Azzy having a go. MSJ bringing it to the centre, winning the 50-50. Drea now pushing it out into an awkward angle for them, but there's no teammate there to meet it. Sarek pushing on forward.
Ball out as far as Rose, but blocked by Drea. But no problem for RNL Raw. Further blocked out by Moxie.
MSJ now with the flip reset, bringing it, trying to get it across, didn't quite pan out. A lot of aerial work that you were talking about, Jazzy.
Yeah, a lot of aerial work. Like each team, they have enough respect for each other that they know we have to fight in there. if anyone wants a chance to win.
Trying to get that dive in. That was so successful in the last game. You know, that kind of dunk, dive in out of nowhere, just pushing it in. And it's worked out for Sarek. Beautiful goal for RNL Raw. Is this final game slipping away from Emsha?
It is, unfortunately. It looks like it is, but it's still a close game. One goal, it could mean anything. Anything can happen.
There's still 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. All to play for.
All to play for. But I can only imagine how that first goal would be affecting Emma-Shaw's morale and how they can bring this series back.
Yeah, they just got to put their heads down, particularly after losing as well. As he trying to come in for a quick goal. Drea now with the chance, but Sarek's there to meet it.
RNL Raw, they are playing out of their minds.
They
look like a whole different team.
They're playing very defensively this time around with that one start. Well, now Sarek's here, trying to push it in with the dunk. Doesn't quite get it for Moxie. Drea now, and it's Emsha on the attack. Rosenblushes going for the long ball. Moxie now. Rosenblushes is there. Drea just pushing it out.
We can see even with the lead, RNL Raw are not letting up. They are still constantly attacking Emma-Shaw's goal.
MSJ going for the big ball, but Rosenblushes pushes it out. Drea now trying to bring it down in front of the goal. Defended nicely by Moxie. Oh, but then MSJ capitalizes and brings one back for Team Emsha.
Perfect placement in between two of the defenders. Moxie didn't make it in time, but perfect goal right for the middle. Equalize. 1 minute remaining. Still very much anybody's game.
Still very much. I think you might get your prediction.
Oh no, my prediction's gone. I said 3-1.
Oh.
My prediction left.
Oh, bad. That went like the other way.
Oh.
Rosenblush is here, trying to create something. Moxie, Sarek, they're working so well together, trying to do a large lob there. Didn't quite pan out. A tactical demo. Moxie now trying to bring it the other way. Moxie still, no one's there, but Drea just gets there back in time.
Brilliant save.
That save was absolutely incredible. It didn't look possible.
It didn't look possible, but that would have been the difference between this series being over.
MJ going for another long ball, following up. Bring it back for Drea. Drea now trying to get the cross off. Axie is there, but too far back. We've got 6 seconds left. All to play for still. 1-0, 3 seconds. The ball is still in the air. MJ overtime. It falls down for overtime.
It falls down for overtime. Which team will capitalize through this overtime?
Well, it's all on the line for RNL Raw. The win is here. It's in their hands. It's match point.
Their game to lose.
It's their game to lose. Will the pressure get? Rosenblush is now pushing forward. Moxie working together as a team. Gets the ball down. Rosenblush is there! Roseblushes secures the win for RNL Raw. Fantastic.
That was a fantastic series to watch. That was amazing. 3-0 to RNL Raw. Clean sweep. A clean sweep against Emma-Shaw. Amazing. What are your thoughts on this, Gleeny?
I'm not gloating.
Stop looking at me.
I'm not gloating.
Stop looking at me.
I'm not gloating, but I feel that's what I said was going to happen. You know, when we started, you asked me, I said what was going to happen, and then that happened. But
see, this behavior against Emma-Shaw is why we're going to have a falling out. But it's okay. It's not a problem. So, 3-0, just like that.
Yeah, it was wild.
Series done.
Right, well, let's pass back to Jeannie and see how they're getting on over at the sofas.
The desk? Without
the
a
desk?
desk?
Without the desk.
Yeah, desk without the desk.
Desk without a desk.
All right. Jeannie and...
The desk without a desk.
The desk without a desk. Jeannie and the desk without a desk. Hi, this is Jeannie and... You're now the desk without a desk.
I can be a desk without a desk.
Because they didn't say Gregan, so I'm going to go for
I'm going to
desk
make the desk analyst. I'm going to make this the analyst desk by being the desk analyst.
Okay, yeah, so I'm confused. But anyway, we're going to talk about the fact that RNL Roar just 3-0'd. And that was one of the predictions that you also came up with. You said they're coming into this. They just had a really, really good game against Endpoint.
Playing well.
Absolutely. And they just absolutely blew the expectations out of the water.
Yeah, I think what we saw from them in the Endpoint game showed they were capable of winning that, and they were playing very well there. And MSU, I think the loss may have affected them more because their expectations would probably be, we can make the final of this tournament.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, when you got that underdog mentality like RNL Raw had, you have that confidence. And I do want to just be a bit nerdy and analytical quickly. The scoreboard was showing that RNL Raw shouldn't have been winning games based off of the shots, but they were getting the goals. So it shows that the confidence from them, when they got the opportunities, they were taking them.
All right. Well, let's check in with RNL Raw themselves as Sarah is ready for the interview. So thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on your third place finish here at Boost Championship. How does it feel?
It feels super. Like, I think it was the last tournament we played together because Moxie's going to retire after. So
Aww.
we just went. So we just said, yeah, let's have some fun and end it on good terms.
Absolutely. You guys had some fun. We could really tell, but there was so much confidence. There was so much creativity, so many mechanics as well coming through from you guys. So coming into this Boost Championship, did you have expectations to be making it this far?
I mean, obviously, our main aim was to make it into playoffs, and then let's just see how far we can get. And we made third place. I'm fine with it. It was a good run.
Amazing. I kind of want to talk more about the Boost Championship in general and having these competitions in Europe for Women's Rocket League. What does that mean to you?
I mean, in my opinion, it's amazing to even have those tournaments because I feel like, yeah, we have WCB, but not that many other big tournaments. So I'm really thankful for you to all organize that.
Thank you so much as well for participating. It was absolutely lovely speaking to you and seeing you guys on the server. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and who knows, we might see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. We had a little bit of a switcheroo. Jazzy, welcome back.
No, I'm Greg, and I've just changed my appearance.
Okay, no, fair. Okay, so that means you weren't an Emsure fan, right? No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, okay. Let's talk about the next game. Let's talk about CatJam against Endpoint. We've seen this game before, and it went in favor of CatJam, 3-0. It was a very quick one. But this time around, do you think it will be different? Because it's a 500-pound game. Okay, your first place you get 1,500. Your second place you get 1,000. So like, look, there we go. There is money, cash in your pocket, money in your pocket, whatever you want to call it, on the line.
Money on the phone.
On the phone. But your phone's in your pocket, so technically it's still in your pocket. So
no.
5
Yeah, you're right.
I cracked the code. Let's get it. Right. So this one specifically, do you think because of the pressure of not just only the fact that you're going to get that first place, you're going to be the first team to ever win the Boost Championship, so you're technically going down in history, you're also getting a bigger chunk of the prize pool?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see which team plays harder for that first place. Yeah. Obviously, they're both now warm. They both had a game, so it's going to be a different scenario for when they first came together because they just went straight in. They didn't have the warm-up of, we had a game before, let's do this. It's going to be interesting. If Endpoint play like the last two games that they played with RNL Raw, it's going to be a lot closer.
Okay.
It's a toss-up. I can't say one team's going to win. I can't say either or.
So it's going to be more down to whoever is like feeling it when they're in the game. All right.
And then CatJam haven't played for a while. Yeah. So have they cooled down? Have they been playing games? Have they been keeping warm while they've been waiting? Have they been watching the competition?
Oh, yeah.
So it depends on what each team has been doing during their breaks. Yeah. How this is going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's definitely something to take into consideration, but also maybe the history of both of these teams and how the fact that they've gone against each other head-to-head, toe-to-toe multiple times, and it's always really Resolve or CatJam this time around that were the ones to come out on top. Maybe this is their shot, or maybe it plays with the confidence of Endpoint.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Either what's going to happen. Either Endpoint is going to step up their game and be like, no, now's the time that we're going to show you that we are better. Yeah. Or CatJam is just going to continue to dominate, continue to live rent-free in their heads.
Yeah, because if we're looking at the last time they played together right there, it was a 3-0. Okay, it was very quickly. It was CatJam logging in, landing a couple of goals, and that was it.
Yeah, it was quite... It was quite a game.
Yeah, a game.
It was quite a series.
It was something.
But you could see like the morale of Endpoint when they went in. It wasn't how they usually play it. Yeah. It's not how they played with every other team. So I don't know if it's a thing playing in their mind. Yes, we've lost against them before, maybe we can't win. But as Alana said,
Yeah.
they know they have the ability to win.
Yeah.
They just need to do it now.
Absolutely. It's just that matter of bringing that confidence and bringing that trust in yourself to life
Yeah.
on the server, which is going to be the question whether or not Endpoint will be able to do it. But then we're looking at CatJam, and we're saying Endpoint played really well and they've been doing really well, but CatJam as well in that first game of today, they kind of just like 3-0 amateur. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to rub a little bit of salt in that wound, but they did 3-0 them.
Yeah, other than the one loss they had, which was against RNL Rock, CatJam have been playing out of their minds this whole tournament.
Yeah.
It obviously would make sense for them to win, but Endpoint have also been playing out of their minds.
Mm-hmm.
They've had their few weird games
Yeah.
with CatJam.
Happens to the best of
It
us.
happens to the best
know.
of us. But these are the two top teams of this tournament going together
Mm-hmm.
in the finals. This is going to be fireworks. I expect fireworks.
I feel you're really building up the hype and the expectations for this game. And also as a reminder for you guys at home, we are waiting for the players to be ready and load into the lobby so that we can get started. We're not holding the game. We're not keeping it, just from starting. We're waiting on it. But I think as well, something that Gregan mentioned on the desk earlier is that sometimes when it comes to Rocket League, these 3-0s are just happen, and it's not really much you can do regardless, even though you're building up a lot of the hype and both of the teams are really incredible at what they do.
Yeah, with Rocket League, if you blink, you'll miss everything.
I felt like that last game, I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
I blunk and everything was gone. So
gone.
it's that simple. Like it could be 3-0 real quick. It could be 3-2. It could be anything. That's the beauty of the game. That's the beauty of car football, Rocket League. It's just,
but it's also the
anything can
scary
happen.
part because you're on the receiving because us as a spectator, we're like, oh yeah, okay, it happens. But like for the teams, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of expectations. There is the weeks that you have played building up to being in the live finals. And we heard it earlier from Sarah from RNL Roar, like their goal specifically was to be in the playoffs. They wanted to be in the finals. That was their goal. And they've already met that. But then you're looking at teams like Endpoint, you're looking at teams like CatJam, and their goal is most likely to win the entirety of the competition.
Yeah, because you see the different RNL Rod, they don't, from what I've seen, they don't usually make the finals like the playoffs like this. So you expect them to want to make into the playoffs, and then teams like Endpoints and CatJam, you expect them to want to win because they're always there.
Yeah.
So it's, the mentality obviously is different. I thought if RNL Raw came with more of a we want to win, could have been a different series with Endpoint. It could have been completely different.
All right. Well, as we wait for the players to load in, we're going to be heading to a quick little break, and we'll be back with the grand finals of the Boost Championship live from Sky Guild Gaming Center. So make sure that you tune in.
we are back and the final is looming. We are ready to go into it. And it's going to be us taking you through that final. My name is Greg and I'm joined by Gleany, and we are going to be talking you through the next best of 5 between Endpoint and CatJam. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm a big CatJam fan, so I'm going to go with CatJam, but this has been an epic tournament. Both of these teams have been fantastic and incredible. I'm going to see if Endpoint can pull it out, or will CatJam come on top. It's anyone's game.
Both 6-1 in the Swiss, so coming out as number 1, number 2 seed, did well in their semi-finals. Endpoint really heated up during their semi-finals, where CatJam looked solid as always. The favourite of this tournament for sure. We'll see if they can take it in the finals. We get kicked off in game 1 here. Early kick-off pressure for Endpoint.
Slumpy,
shot on target.
bring it down. Slumpy! What a goal! Quick goal. Only 5 seconds into the game says, hello, this is Endpoint. We're taking this final. Absolutely fantastic.
Straight away off that kickoff. We know the volatility of the kickoff. Typically, CatJam in their semi-finals were winning a lot of their kickoffs in favour of their possession. But Endpoint here, a consistent team as well, solid, have been throughout the whole WCB season, and that often comes with strong kickoffs. As when you play together as a team for a long period of time, you do get to know each other's tendencies and work out strategies. As Steven off the backboard.
Fantastic goal. The quick response. Oh, wow.
Just a loose ball in the middle there. Seeing Takara go for the in and out save, decides to give over them for the double rather than shoot on target, as it probably would have been saved away. So good awareness, heads up gameplay. 1-1 the score.
Ducks now bringing it forward. Going on shot, the Crimson's there, just simply meeting it. Slumpy now. Alanis.
Easily met.
Steven just pushing it out.
Yeah, you can see the quality of the touches that both teams are going for is great, but also the reads from the other side. These guys are used to this high level of mechanical ability. They're much better at reading this kind of stuff than they would be of the chaos that we may have seen in previous series.
Alanis with a shot on goal, pushed out by Ducks. Ducks now on the attack, keeping it high up in the air. Bring it to the centre for Steven, but Steven doesn't quite get it. Slumpy pushes it out. Alanis now bringing it down. Ducks having another go, pushed out by Takara. Alanis pushing it to the centre. Ducks now. It's just been end-to-end stuff, like attack, and then coming back the other way.
Oh, the way that CatJam are trading multiple players with each touch, though, is definitely going to go in their favour eventually. Getting 2 players out of the game with 1 solo play. Eventually, it'll break them down. You see there 2 Endpoint defenders taken out. That's going to leave the net open for a small window there, but just missed. Hit the post and away.
Off the backboard, Crimson's there. Ducks giving it a go. Will it dip in time? Slumpy's there to meet it. Ducks reversing, waiting for the ball. Didn't quite pan out. Crimson now pushing it forward, but met with Alanis with a long goal. Oh, unfortunately, just hits the post, doesn't quite go in.
Yeah, we mentioned this about CatJam. They've got amazing offense, but sometimes have a tendency to go all 3 into the play. And on that occasion, it was just 2 on the play. 1/3 pushed a little bit too far forward and was getting bumped. So you have to be aware of that. Takara roaming for bumps in the midfield. So good opportunities for Endpoint on the counters.
Off the crossbar, Crimson's there, but didn't quite pan out. Steven now with the ball. Pushing it out towards the centre. Still Steven. Keeping it high in the air. Slumpy's there to meet it, just hits it over.
Great pass. 3v1. Sent a bit wide. Patience and defense was key there. Just not enough boost to quite do that play there. And I've noticed that a few times with Endpoint. They seem to be on low boost in situations where if they had a little bit more, they might be able to make something of it. You see again there, Takara not able to do much with just 20, 30 boost, so just has to boom it away. Still a good option. It's just not the best option in that situation necessarily.
Ducks! What happened there in the midway? Just a long shot.
Yeah, just caught
Just
Slumpy off guard.
caught it off guard. A long shot from their own area into the goal. Fantastic.
Yeah, Ducks striking that very hard, and Slumpy was expecting it to go down the line. Cheated a little bit towards the corner and consequently caught off guard, leaving the net open for a small window. And you've always got to test out the defense, see if they're keeping eyes on what's going on, and Ducks is definitely want to do that a lot. The mechanics on Ducks definitely the strongest in the European women's scene. Something to watch out for, as they can pull out some masterful goals.
Crimson now pushing forward. Ducks keeping it down, a little tap down. Crimson.
Not quite. Oh, you can see the individual prowess on Catjam. They're able to do these solo plays. Can be to their downfall. They can sort of overdo them, thinking they're going to get away with it. But at this moment, they are up 1 goal. They don't need to do anything too crazy. Just need to keep this pressure on, keep testing the defense.
Steven now on goal, trying to get an awkward nudge in, but didn't quite work out. Alanis now. What can Alanis create? Off the backboard, 1 minute remaining. Tactical demo there. Slumpy's there trying to give it a go, but it doesn't quite work out. Alanis again. Look at Endpoint, desperately trying to get a goal within the last 50 seconds. Slumpy loses the 50-50. Crimson pushing it into the middle. Ducks meeting it there with the long ball off the backboard. Down, and Ducks! What a goal!
That's the kind of shot we were talking about. Crimson puts it into the space only Ducks can read. Sends it high on the backboard, and it does bounce on the ground, but it was sent straight down. And that kind of quality, you could see Crimson knew Ducks was capable of that. Put it in the high aerial spot in the midfield. Ducks, loads of boost. Almost impossible to defend there. Endpoint have to be careful giving the space up to Catjam.
30 seconds left. 30
Ooh.
seconds. 30 seconds. Crimson now dribbling the ball, keeping it low, put it up into the air. Alanis is there to meet it, tapping it over, but
Ooh, almost.
almost. Steven there trying to create something. Crimson loose the 50-50. Alanis is going high up for goal.
There's a few last moment chances here for Catjam, but up 2 goals. They don't need to worry about anything too much here. Just going to be a bit of a victory lap here in game 1, as we do see Catjam winning 3-1 there. Confident victory.
Confident victory? I don't know. They got one. I don't know. With these games, it seems like Endpoint seem to fall apart when when it comes to Catjam. But Catjam is such a staple team, and I mean, I'd be nervous against them.
Yeah, there's this weird thing in Rocket League where when a player is readable because they're good, then sometimes the better players have a better time against them. And I feel like that's the case here with Catjam. Like, Endpoint play good Rocket League, so for Catjam's point of view, they can read it better. So that's when they get those intercepts, those good challenges, and when they can set up more traditionally viable options. Whereas in some of the previous matchups, especially against RNL Raw for Endpoint, they found it really hard because they were unorthodox touches, challenging in weird ways. It's a lot harder to read. So I think Catjam definitely has the favour here because they can read everything Endpoint's trying to do.
Do you think Endpoint might switch it up a little bit?
Well, they're going to have to, right? They're going to have to play almost overconfidently and to the point where they might make mistakes, but that's fine because that's harder to read, right? We saw the misses and attempts on crazy touches working so well earlier on. So I think that's where we need to see Endpoint go. They need to almost like rip up their game plan, throw it out, and just try and play almost better than they could even imagine they're playing. Play in a way that is overconfident.
All right, well, now we're into the next match.
Early start, pretty even here. I like that from Takara. And that's the kind of stuff we want to see, is trying things that, you know, could break down the defense. And if it doesn't work and you concede, you know, it's the same outcome as when you played your game plan before, right? You've got to find something new and innovative that might work. Lovely little touch.
Lovely touch there. Alanis now with the ball. Takara going up to meet it. Pushed out by Steven effortlessly. Crimson now with the ball. Crimson winning the 50-50, but Slumpy's there. Alanis bringing it down across the goal.
I like this. I like what I'm seeing here from Endpoint. They're trying things out, and you know, the classic thing you would hear people say in these situations is, let's go for some more bumps. The reason why they work is it's hard to read, and you've seen a few bumps already, you've seen a few weird touches. Just try and be as unpredictable as possible for this Catjam team.
Alanis now pushing forward. Crimson easily mopping it up, bringing it high and down. Steven pushing it forward.
Solo
Steven
play.
still beautiful flip reset, but doesn't quite pan out. Dugs pushing it off the backboard.
Counter-attack opportunity. The shot here
Alanis
goes for a pass instead. A lot of players drawn in here for Catjam. There's a small window here for Endpoint if they can create something out of this. Ducks just so clinical out of defense there. Great clear. Ooh.
Long ball, Alanis is up there.
See, stuff like that, that double commit there is fine. You know, you need to just try things out. And we can see Takara on the sidewall there. Slumpy in the middle. Went for the play. If it misses, it's fine. It throws off the defense.
Alanis winning the 50-50. Slumpy trying to get it up to meet it, but misses. Tactical demo there.
Crimson trying to center that, but does just get covered by Alanis. A bit of space for Alanis. Been good on the ground so far. We saw that wonderful flick earlier that took out 2 players in the semi-final. It's going to be tougher against this team as Catjam.
Textbook work there. Absolutely textbook.
You see Ducks just disrupting, creating the space for Steven, who then takes past the final player, Crimson, to clean up a full 3-player production of goal right there. 1-0, about halfway through the game. Catjam not looking as in control this game, but clinical in the final third.
Oh, Slumpy off the back, but what happened there? Sven gets the push off from the corner, hits the top, and then just drops in, beating Ducks. That was insane.
Another kickoff goal for Endpoints. They found a weakness in Catjam there, and a great touch from Slumpy off the sidewall, just hitting it as hard as possible, as soon as possible, creating a weird angle, roof down. But if they're going to only create their goals through kickoffs, you only get a few of those per game. You need to find a way to get a goal in open play now.
Slumpy with the ball, Alanis hitting it off the corner. Stevens there, but Takara's crossing it. Doesn't quite meet up on connect with Slumpy. Alanis giving it a go. Slumpy's up there, but misses. We would take it across to Takara. Didn't quite pan off. They're defending beautifully, Catjam. Clinically, beautifully.
And it's forcing these early reads from Endpoint, which means the likelihood of them messing up is way more, as we've seen Slumpy a few times, throwing themselves at things that they wouldn't normally go for, just to try and beat the defense out and get that smaller advantage. But you can see in every other part of the pitch, they're playing very carefully, they're playing smart. It's only when it comes to that final chance that you see these masterful touches is the difference.
Ducks in the corner, Ducks! What a goal.
Just the quality of these final strikes. You see Steven there on the aerial trying to go for some fun stuff, and it opens up some space for the shot for Ducks, bar down and in. Can't get more perfect than that, and that's the difference right now. You can see Catjam so good in offense.
1 minute and 35 seconds to go. 2-1 here. Crimson pushing it down, keeping possession.
Been a nuisance. Good third, amazing third. Steven just catching that in the midfield.
Crimson there to finish it off. Beautiful play. Excellent aerial work, and then just finished off. Look at Steven there. Flip reset, brings it down beautifully, bounces, and then Crimson's just there to knock it in.
Yeah, Steven found himself a little bit too far up as the third, but they turned it into something. They caught it, sent it straight up, air dribbled it a bit, and even faked a flip reset at the end just to force Alanis to back up, and then faked it into the free shot for Crimson. Yeah, it's amazing work and some creativity that we're just not seeing from any other team in the tournament so far. Catjam are producing magical plays, but
Slumpy here with the reply.
Can't do anything if you get bumped.
With the reply, fantastic. Tactical demo there, so there was no one there. Look at that, poor Crimson.
Yeah, I think was it Ducks? I'm not sure, because they exploded into flames. Didn't get to see who it was, but whoever was in net there had no chance as they were getting chased down by Alanis. Ooh, a bad miss. Shot opportunity.
Oh, wow, the double block.
Got away with that one there. Yeah. Steven off the corner. Should have been getting that. Just the ball falling down into the midfield. I think it almost caught Slumpy off guard. It was so unexpected.
It's now the other end.
So 3-2 the score. Less than a minute left. Endpoint need to produce something here. Chance.
Still chance. Top bins. Ducks is there. Waiting. 30 seconds remaining.
Avoiding the bump too.
Alanis now. Some ground play here. Aggressively pushing it past, but doesn't beat Ducks.
Nice
Takara's there. Lovely touch, but no player there to meet it. Slumpy. Again, Alanis going high in the air.
What a shot!
Slumpy. Beautiful shot. It gets blocked out, but then ricochets off and goes in.
I love this setup for Alanis, just putting it in a spot where Slumpy's first to it, giving them the close range shot. Ducks unable to save it away confidently. Finds Steven on the goal line, own goal there, but it does make it 3-3. And that was such good offense from Endpoint. They were so aggressively keeping that pressure on. And I want to see a bit more of that. Can they get it here off the kickoff?
Let's have a look. Ducks meeting it. We're in 0 time now. Will they keep it in the air or will they go to extra time? No, knocks it down for extra time. It is heating up here.
It is. I'm loving what Endpoint have been doing this game. We asked them to adapt by trying out some aggression, going for stuff even if it fails. It's better than not trying at all, and you can really see what it's done for them. They've produced several opportunities this game to create a goal, and 3 of them resulting in goals themselves. So we'll see whether they can get it here. Overtime, next goal wins. Endpoint really trying to level up the series here.
Ducks now pushing the ball out into the centre, but Alanis is there to meet it. Will Alanis create something here?
There's a chance now into the middle. No one there.
Slumpy unable to connect with the ball. Alanis now, they're in their half, going for a long ball.
Big clear for Ducks.
Slumpy meets it off the side, trying to get it into the centre.
Oh, Rule 1 broken there from Crimson. I think that might be a despicable Rule 1 break from Crimson. So if anyone right now has a team that they want to root for, I think you've you've made up your mind after seeing that. And you can see the tension is definitely building here for these guys. You can see the ball bouncing back and forth, but Endpoint seem to be ones with the more threatening options. I say that just as that ball drops to the centre.
Slumpy now trying to create something on the side. Loses the 50-50, but Alanis is there off the side, trying to get it to a teammate. Tactical
Chance.
demo.
Just wide.
Oh, just wide.
Shot off the crossbar.
Crossbar.
It's going to go centre again. Can anyone read this? It will be Steven, but that ball is loose still. Endpoint choosing not to go means they've got 3 players ready for this attack. Off that misclear. No corner read. Crimson misclears too.
Slumpy wins the 50-50.
Oh, Ducks
out
is
by
so
Ducks.
good. Oh, that's so good from Ducks, cleaning that up. Solo, giving the team time to recover, and it might even create an opportunity here for
Crimson
them.
now, Ducks coming to the centre. Slumpy pushes it out. Steven now pushing it towards the goal, but Takara's there. Tactical demo. Slumpy now.
Oh, Slumpy loves those.
Look at the 3-team assault, but no one could find the goal. Slumpy again pushing forward.
Oh, this could be a chance here. Oh, the first touch from Milan is just out of control, but there was one at the back there. Few options available.
It is all to play for now.
Low boost on the side of Catjam, just Crimson with boost right here. Good demo. Bump on the other one.
Slumpy. Ducks is always there. Cleans it up easily. Now on the attack.
Good fake from Alanis. Just baiting Ducks in. Sometimes that's the best way to deal with players who are very mechanical. If you can just pump fake them, make them give up that ball. When they run out of boost, there's not a huge amount of things they can do. A shot opportunity.
Takara.
Oh, you need to be striking that one. There's so many chances here.
Alanis now trying to create something on the side.
It's so tough with players in the box. You're always thinking maybe we've got to do one more touch, but sometimes you just need to send a shot fast on target. See what happens. Test the keeper. It worked earlier to get the 3rd goal. Can it work here in overtime? Good
Bring it
read.
down. Ducks with a boost, and it's it. Oh, wow, Alanis, fantastic.
Crimson!
Oh,
Blocked out. 3 minutes and a half here of overtime. Both teams defending beautifully, covering everything. Alanis on the solo play. Tries to pinch it mid. It's now going to be Slumpy with a bit of space. They've got to try and do something with this. Awkward bounce.
Takara pushing it out. Alanis now on the attack. Doesn't quite beat Steven. Ducks ricocheting it off the side, but Slumpy's there. Crimson picking it up easily off the ground.
Lovely touch middle for Takara. A good double here. Could be a goal. Oh, just gets blocked. So close here. We've almost had another game's worth of time in this overtime. In Rocket League, if you win one of these overtimes, it really does send the momentum your way because it feels like double the win. What a shot. Pre-jump from Takara, reads it away. 2 players commit. Chance for the counter-attack now, but Ducks keeps it in.
Takara now pushing it into the centre, but Crimson boosts up to meet it, keeping it in the air, letting it fall for Dux. Dux with the long ball. Slumpy picks it up. Tactical demo there. Steven trying to push it in. Another demo.
Sidewall read. Oh, I know Dux loves the sidewall reads. Got to see if we can find one of those. That would be a miracle goal if we saw one of those. Yeah, that ball cleared away to Takara. Soft shot. Does test the keeper a bit. Boost gathered for Dux. Not much they can do with that. They might get the bump though. Good recovery from Slumpy and a good demo too. So a chance here for Endpoint. 5 minutes has been reached in overtime here. We've had a whole game's worth of overtime.
This is an insane overtime. It is beaten by Steven. Just sneaks it in here. Crimson pushing it forward on the ground. Alanis gets the block. Takara gets the block, but then Steven just pushes it all the way in.
It's just so unfortunate. Alanis just missing out on the boost in the back corner, so they couldn't recover for a better 50. And that's where you got to see that pressure finally comes through.
Yeah.
And an unfortunate circumstance in defense there, but we saw that for the third goal for Endpoint too. You know, if you test the defense, sometimes you can break through, and Steven does in the end. Takara on the goal line, they did the right thing. It's just sometimes when it ping-pongs around like that, you can't react to what's in front of you.
There's nothing you can do really in that situation, but oh my gosh, that was an intense overtime. Like a whole nother game. Insane.
So it's now 2-0 in the series to Catjam, and after a loss like that, that's going to really knock Endpoint's confidence out. It's going to make them exhausted because you spent 5 minutes where one goal, especially after leveling it so late, one goal would have meant you were being a 1-1 series right now, and suddenly you're looking at it, you've got to win 3 games in a row, you've got to reverse sweep the final. So that's going to really throw off Endpoint. For both teams, they're going to be mentally exhausted after that, but it's really going to hit Endpoint a lot more.
Well, let's take a look.
So this could be the final game of the Boost Championship here in the grand final. As we see Game 3 kicking off, 2-0 so far for Catjam, previously resolved for anyone tuning in. As we see early pressure here for Endpoint. Slumpy very deep here, he's going to have to defend the 1v1.
Trying to fake out, but Slumpy reads it. Slumpy now. Crimson just clearing it up with ease. Takara pushing it down off the side. Beautiful gameplay for Alanis. What a goal! Fantastic teamwork from Endpoint. They are not giving up yet.
I love the change of pace there in the corner from Takara. Just slowing down for the first one, drew him in, sped it up fast for the second two, popped it middle, and Alanis had a small window of opportunity to shoot there and slinged it to the top of the net. Great offense from Endpoint, really punishing the bunched up defense there from Catjam.
Alanis with the ball. Steven now pushing it towards the other end. Crimson. Alanis pushing it out. Takara now with a long ball to the other side. Dux taking it to the middle. Beautiful airplay there. They're all in the side there. The full team with Catjam with that quick reply that they've been doing this entire tournament. See how they just knock it up over the player, and Dux is there just to finish it off.
Yeah, that's so tough for the Endpoint defense. The commit in the corner from Alanis put Slumpy in a really tough spot when they had to decide, do I go now or do I wait? And Dux just got one more touch that threw Slumpy off, and then left one in defense against the 3. And Catjam will pretty much always score situations like that. They are so deadly in their finishing ability.
Steven!
Speaking of which,
oh my gosh.
deadly in your finishing ability, and Steven answers the call. Look at that on the half volley. Powerful shot towards net. Takara caught off guard, worried about the bump too. That is incredible.
Steven just proving that Catjam and their team deserve to be here.
And that ball in the middle, taken over one. Dux now with the double opportunity, off the bar, down away. Tough for them.
Alanis pushing it out. Steven now off the side for the teammate, but didn't quite win the 50-50. Crimson giving it a go.
Okay, that is prime defense right there, just soaking up the pressure while your teammates recover. Not committing, but still being available if needed.
It's 2-1 with 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Crimson now off the side, bringing it towards the middle. Dux is there, taps it over for Stiven, but didn't connect with the ball there.
See how early Dux was up there, just really taking away all the options. And we said about the confidence Endpoint need to play with, and they showed it last game, and it looked amazing. It's just going to be so tough now with the lead for CatJam to try and keep themselves in this game, because they're going to punish them every time they overcommit, and Endpoint just have to be careful not to overcommit, but also they need to take risks. It's a really hard balance to find in Rocket League, especially in a high pressure game like this final. Clear away. Dux going to send this to Crimson. Soft shot.
Alanis now trying to create something.
Good demo. Takara in the midfield opens up some time to take control of the ball, but
Risky gameplay in front of the goal.
I think you just see Crimson has just been a menace.
Slumpy just gets destroyed. Alanis wins the 50-50, but it just goes wide. Slumpy trying to get it towards the goal again. Didn't quite pan out. Slumpy now back into defense. Steven now with the ball. Takara and Slumpy working together to push the ball out. Falls to Dux. Dux with the long shot.
Just so much speed from Dux. They always look in control. I think that's one thing you always notice with the most mechanical players in Rocket League is they never look panicked. They're always quick but clinical.
Slumpy now with the ball. Slumpy still manages to capitalize.
How's that breakaway happened?
So they've hit it off the sideboard, and then I think Steven just came a bit too forward and then just outpaced there.
I think that was Steven tried to get the back right boost and then saw the mid right was available, back right probably wasn't. Tried to sneak up to it, and Slumpy aggressive counter attack, just sending it off the sideboard straight away. 2-2 the score. CatJam will probably still feel in control as they are when they're on the ball, they are looking like the favourite, but I think Endpoint have just had those like moments, those individual moments that have really thrown off this CatJam team.
We've got 1 minute, 4 seconds left. It's 2-2. Do you think we'll go into overtime again?
There's always hope, isn't there? There's a lot of demos this game. It seems like the aggression from both teams has turned into high momentum gameplay. Always opportunities on the way out to get a demo. Shot from Crimson, sent away. One of the big demoers on CatJam's team is Crimson. Let's see whether they're going to get me on the way out.
Dux just waiting to win the 50-50. Gives it a go. Slumpy didn't quite pan out, but it was a good shot.
You've always got to test it. We saw it in the other game, right? Sometimes those shots do just go in. And you see another little pop shot from range. Crimson cleaning up at the back. Good early challenge from Alanis. No one to follow up, so it's going to be a free clear again. So 15 seconds left here. Can this solo play work out? Crimson pre-jumps it. Stiven comes in the middle.
Stiven, oh my gosh, secures the win with 10 seconds left. Or do you think Endpoint can come back from here?
I mean, that was a beautiful play there. Ducks up to Crimson pre-jumping. Crimson almost put it in herself off the pre-jump, but Stiven coming in to clean up. 10 seconds left. We saw the heroics last game from Endpoint. This is a good situation for them if Dux doesn't get it, but they do. What a touch. Sends it to safety across the pitch. The whole length to take up now.
1 second. They need to keep it off the ground, and it's a win for CatJam, winning the final.
There you go.
Wow, that was intense.
Who would have thought it? Probably most of you in chat, you're aware of the ability CatJam can produce, and they definitely were tested. I think that's fair to say, and that's what we love to see with the women's scene. Everyone's improving so much, and it's testing those top teams like Resolve have been for the whole season, now CatJam. They're getting pushed, and in that game, all of them were close, and even that 5-minute overtime almost going in favour of Endpoint.
Yes, that 5-minute overtime was so intense, and you just see them not making it easy for them. It was very difficult. I think if I was CatJam, I'd be like, oh, okay, Endpoint have come to play, and congratulations to Endpoint for getting so far into this tournament, and CatJam, congrats for the overall victory. But let's take it over to our host and caster over at the desk.
Sofa desk.
Sofa desk.
Sovadesk. That has to be a new piece of furniture that we're inventing here today. But welcome to the analyst corner. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. I'll stick with that for the rest of today, even though this is the last one, right?
No.
But I want to talk about the fact that, again, CatJam taking the win. Okay, it was 3-0, and it was, I don't want to say dominance because this scoreline doesn't really reflect the fact that Endpoint has put their hearts and soul into this game. Starting off with your thoughts and feelings about the over 5-minute overtime, which is basically like a whole different game of Rocket League.
That was outrageous.
Jaw was on the floor.
Like if you guys could have seen us, we were both there like
Yeah, we just could not believe it.
That was crazy.
Absolutely.
That was incredible. Wow.
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 But with that, CatJam do secure themselves £1,500 prize money, and £1,000 is going to be going to Endpoint. So congratulations of both of the teams for making it this far, for proving their worth, for absolutely giving it all they have got to be able to compete in the finals, and to just such a banger of a series for us. Congratulations.
Brilliant series to
Absolutely.
end. Brilliant series to
Alright.
end, honestly.
We do have an interview right though with one of the players from CatJam. So I hope you can hear me this time around. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for asking. Congratulations on yet another win, this time around under the CatJam banner. I want to ask you about the CatJam name. Who came up with it and why? Because it's really cool.
Actually, the Cat Jam was there the season before I joined the team. So it was Soph and Dux and Ravina, and they played under Cat Jam in season 3 of WCB.
Yeah.
And then in season 4, we got picked up by BS Plus, and then season 5, Resolve. So we sort of just gone back to it because it's a fun Twitch emote, and it's just for fun, I guess. It's nice.
It's a very fun Twitch mode. Going back to your roots, and it paid off as well. You guys are now officially the winners of the first ever Boost Championship. How does it feel to be the winners? But also, what does it mean to be able to compete in these kind of women's only tournaments?
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to take the win. We've been on a bit of a rut recently, struggling. I think lots of factors towards it. So it's nice to sort of pull ourselves back out of that and show we can still perform at that level.
Yeah.
But no, it's incredible to perform and to like compete in a tournament like this is so. We're very, very grateful for the environment and the space it's created. It sort of lets us practice in a really safe environment where there's a lot less judgment or just so many things that you'll get outside of it. And then from here, we can hopefully grow and improve and compete more and more, and then push on to those further stages, which is trying to make that RRCS jump, or at some point that's the end goal. But it's definitely difficult to say the least.
It's absolutely beautiful to hear as well for your aspirations. And I think, again, this is such a great stepping stone towards it. So thank you so much for the interview. I am so excited to see what CatJam has in store, whether under the name CatJam or a different one. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your celebration, and I hope you do something nice with the prize pool money. Keep us updated on that, and just go have fun.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You've run a brilliant tournament. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye. Oh, that's like super wholesome. I know the vibes. Okay. But with that, however, it does mean that we do come to an end. And a CatJam, they do get 1,500 prize pool. So overall, in terms of how this championship, you've been in from the start. You've been in since day 1, week 1, round 1. You've seen these teams grow up, and you got to touch upon it last Playday, which was yesterday. You said it feels like I'm watching my children graduate.
Yeah.
So
Although I don't have kids, so I don't know how I'm comparing this, but honestly, it feels like we've watched 8 teams grow and show their potential, show that they are some of the best in the world, and it's been amazing to watch. It's been absolutely beautiful to see from start to finish.
Yeah, I am very honored as well to be part of it. And as you guys quickly saw on the screen, CatJam get 1,500, 1,000 for Endpoint, and every single one of these teams get a chunk of the prize pool. So thank you guys so much for tuning in over the last couple of weeks. It has been an absolute honor to cover Women's Rocket League. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And if you want to know what's more to come, make sure that you follow on social media, just so you can stay in the loop of what's going on. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful weekend, and we will see you around. Bye.